Hello everybody and welcome to another extra very special Hobby Titans. It's good to be back. We, myself, like almost everybody, including our special guest Megan, have been at Nova, as you guys know. We got a chance to meet a bunch of you. That was super awesome.
Yes.
And yeah, that was really fun. And it's good to be back. Meg, talk to us. What are we doing today?
Today we are doing a little bit of, well, we already did the Zenithal aspect, but we're taking our Zenithal priming and enhancing it with a nice palette painting exercise.
Yeah. Now, if you are joining in and you're saying, oh man, Zenithal, that's an airbrush word. It is, but you actually don't need an airbrush to do what we're going to do today. We are going to show you some of it that we did just with rattle cans here in a second. Obviously, we won't be rattle canning here, but we're also going to use airbrushes too. But the important thing is you would not have to only use an airbrush to do this. You could just all rattle can.
You could do a lot of it with rattle can.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can probably even skip the black and white priming and just go straight to a couple of maybe contrast colors that you want to work with that come in a rattle can and do the same thing. Yeah.
And here she means contrast, not as in Citadel contrast paints,
right.
But you mean paints that opposites
on the
right?
color wheel, yeah.
So Meg has picked up some stuff from Nova. That's kind of what you were doing there, right? Painting classes.
I like to go and learn at these things, how to paint.
So with that, let's get into it. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get creative, folks.
Okay, so this video, I'm basically setting up my Zenithal with our rattle can primers. The model that I'm working with, I wanted to be glowing from within, mostly towards the front of the model. And so that's sort of how I set up my light source while I was using my rattle can. You could do a step further in this process, which we did in our class, by enhancing the black and white itself with a paintbrush. But for the purposes of today, I wanted to try to get through this a bit quicker, so we're skipping that step. And I'm going to go straight to color for enhancing the base coat that I laid down with an airbrush. In the class, we did everything after the rattle can with a paintbrush, but I wanted to lay down the base coat today with airbrush just because it goes faster. You get like that nice transition real quick from the colors, and I think this is a good enough jumping off point for this type of model. You know, it's not humanoid. You don't have to really make it look real. It's not a real thing. It's like a ball of fire or something. I'm not actually sure.
This is Ravenek's Gnashing Jaws. We picked endless spells to work on today. We need some endless spells in around the studio because of some stuff we need endless spells around the studio for coming up. So it happens to be a good fit. But also I think these are like kind of great to show like this technique on.
Yeah, and I'm new to this. I mean, a lot of you guys may already be, I'm sure, are very aware of Zenithal priming, but it's a new technique for me, and I wanted to explore doing it with a faster turnaround time. The class I was in where I learned this technique was Not Your Mother's Bust Painting, and it was a 6-hour class.
Wow.
So I
just
was like,
for priming?
Yeah, just for no. It
no,
wasn't.
you did base coating.
There was actually a lot going on in that class, but I was like, there has to be a way to kind of shrink this down for one-off models like this or horde armies. You know, I'm sure lots of your viewers are familiar with it already, but I thought it would be fun to experiment with it and see what I can make of it by getting something done in a couple hours and not 6.
Yeah, and there's a lot. We'll talk a lot about some techniques you can do with this. I know there's a guy I follow on Instagram I showed you that does this and then pretty much only uses inks over top of it. So, and what's really cool is, again, you saw in the video we had there, we went outside and used just the rattle can.
Yeah.
So you can do it just with rattle can. You don't need to be an airbrushing. That's something we see. I even heard some people in Nova say, hey, I don't airbrush. Can we do more stuff without airbrushes?
Yeah.
We actually won't be using any airbrushes today. Now, you saw that Meg did do some airbrushing there, and I did as well for my endless spell. But you wouldn't have to. And there are a lot of color primers out there today in rattle cans, model paint. I would definitely, lots of people will put like Krylon or Rust-Oleum on their models. I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't unless maybe it was terrain, like like rough imperial terrain or orc terrain, something like that. Personally, I wouldn't, but Army Painter, Citadel, AK, all of these brands make primers beyond just black and white. You could maybe have a little bit of trouble getting gradients of like a blue and then like a teal and then like a green. But Army Painter especially has a ton. So I think it is possible. And certainly the one we'll show you today, I didn't use a gradient, right, to do this.
Right.
Okay, so that's yours. Let's take a look at what I've got. Talk to us about what I did, Meg. I know that sounds weird.
Talk to us about what you did.
So Ravenax Gnashing Jaws is going to Meg. I'll just real quick put on this guy. Now, if you are a Sigmar player, you probably were expecting me to put either Purple Son of Shyish down or this guy. Because this guy, the Chronomatic Cogs, and the Purple Son of Shyish are super darlings of the Endless Spell meta right now in Age of Sigmar. But there's a lot of cool Endless Spells, and it's kind of a funny story. I thought I had the Purple Son of Shyish because I thought I ordered like every Endless Spell from this dude on eBay a few months back. And I came in here thinking I had it, and I didn't. But I had this one, which is great. So talk me through, well, you and I talked through my like why I picked these colors. What am I looking at here?
So
it's kind of a weird question.
We talked about that these are spells. These are not solid beings, but they look like they're in the process of materializing into something solid. So we talked about, for this specific model, the magic, the glow seems like it would come from below. Which is how it's been shaded.
Yeah.
But also, the further away from the glow you go, the more materialized these cogs are. So Zach is going to basically enhance this transitional magical color shift. And then there's going to be points where the cog has semi-materialized, where he'll pull out some of those metallics. Yeah. And we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so I'll be kind of what we've really set up here. This is exciting because we did we did the Zenithal highlighting, and I actually have a model to show that process, to show that a little more up close as well. We did the Zenithal highlighting, and then we did the shading. And we'll talk about, like, does that matter? Does the Zenithal, does the shading just cover up the white? Like, do you need to do that?
I had this question in my class as well, because we did the same thing. We spent I would say the first third of the class talking about how to prepare your model. The second third of the class, I think, was spent doing, enhancing that black and white gradient. And we were painting by hand. We were taking, like you were mentioning, those areas that are hard for a rattle can or airbrush to reach, and pulling those out or just exaggerating them to make the model come to life a bit more. And I was thinking, okay, so are we just doing glazes over this? And he's the teacher, Davinian Mayer was the teacher. He's like, nope, you just cover it up. And what you're doing in that process is building muscle memory in your painting. So it's not a step that's, I think, necessary for painting an army if you're trying to get that kind of thing done fast.
Yeah.
It's probably not a good use of your time, but for something like a bust, which was what the class was for, you want to spend all that time building up really like luxurious shading and modeling, and be used to, okay, this is where I want the highlight, this is where I want the shadow, and it helped. Honestly, it helped me.
So there's sort of two things going here, and from our research over the week, we saw people kind of coming down both ways on it, and then I experienced firsthand, and I can report back that I do have an answer based on my experience.
Okay.
So what Megan is saying here is that they're saying, do the black and then do the white, and the white just shows you how you're going to shade. But it's almost like not a necessary step, because depending on the paint you're putting over top of, it's not really going to matter. You're not going to see that black and white.
And
but
what you're going for.
Yeah.
Like how much modeling are you really trying to get with an endless spell, right?
So, yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
so this is the pendulums, and you can see we've done just the black and white here. But I will say that I did find that the way the white did matter, and I can tell you why. I'll go back first to the cogs, and I will tell you that this pink here down at the bottom looks much better when it goes over white than when it goes over black. In other words, it's brighter. Okay, and that's very true for the pink. And if pink is, we know certain colors do better, right, over white primer than over black primer. Pink is one of them. Orange is one. Now, I also did and have started work on another one, not using a gradient, but instead using a number of different colors. Here are some Quicksilver swords. And on this one, I put the white on the back where the yellow currently is. And yellow's another color that looks better going over white. So this actually helped out significantly because you put the white down over the black, and then you're putting the yellow over top of the white instead of over top of the black. And you'll end up with like a dark kind of funky yellow, black, white thing, which you don't want. So I do think that the white, especially if you put enough of it on, and that may not entirely be the whole technique. I understand the main point of the technique is to just see what's going on. But I think if you do put enough white down, knowing that you're going to go in with something like orange or pink or yellow, it does help. It helps that color pop a little bit more.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So speaking of,
All right.
what are you jumping into?
Yeah,
here?
this is, I think, okay, so this was the most
We're gonna do a little zoom on you here.
most freeing part of this class was setting up the palette. It's magical. So basically, what he talked about was you want to have little wells of paint. I don't know if that's necessary with a squeeze bottle like this, but we did it for the class. And you want to keep these clean. You don't want to poison the well, as
Okay.
they say. But yeah, then you're going to take your colors and kind of map them out, your highs, your mediums, your lows. My high and my medium are actually really close right here. So my medium is probably going to be somewhere in between these two colors. But just go for it. Get a tiny bit of water on your brush and just start dragging out those colors into each other. This is how you make your palette. Fun fact, I did get to take a class with Liberty Fires at Nova. Not this one, but he took Not Your Mother's Intro to Basics? I can't remember.
Were they
what
really
the
all
class
called
was.
Not Your Mother's?
Yes, I loved it.
Okay.
It was great. We were in the same edge highlighting class. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Edge highlighting. Yes. And he was telling me about his class that he took, and same teacher, so did the same activity where he created a palette like this. You're basically like bleeding your colors into each other so that you have this endless palette of a million colors to work with. So in Liberty Fire's class and in my own, we did a black and white palette. We went from white to black, and that was how we worked on our busts.
Okay.
Not Your Mother's Basics. Yeah, thank you. And so that way it gave us like a visual to compare our palettes to. It wasn't just, you're not just running blind, right? You're trying to match your darkest darks to your darks, to your blacks, and your midtones to your grays. I'm just kind of going for it right now because of, time, and I have a decent sense of what I need to do. So I love this part when we're creating our palettes because it's just so freeing. Like, I'm not limited to these 3 bottles. I have like every color now that I need. And I'm thinking my middle will be somewhere in here, but I'm going to keep pushing my colors across my palette until I get a nice smooth blend. And then I'll start working. what I'll start working on first are my midtones, and then that gives me a base to push out from. I can go higher or lower.
Okay.
And I work my way up and down this palette to get like some smooth blends and gradients. So
I too am going to set up this palette here. What
Heck yeah.
What I'm doing currently, though, is kind of just working from the wells. And my approach here is to kind of go through and first I'm using the pink I used down here. And I'm using the pink, it's this pink, Minotaur Lust Pink. And what I'm doing is I'm using this pink to highlight my mid-tone area. Here are the 3 colors I used for the cogs. They're all Minotaur paints. So I went pink, going up to the top here, you can see I went pink, demonic skin, and then nebula red. And what I'm now doing is I'm using the pink to highlight the mid-tone, which is this lavender demonic skin color. And then I'm gonna kind of go down all the way to the bottom and use white to do some edge highlighting. And then I'm gonna do the palette. So in some ways, I'm almost.
in some ways.
Yeah, I'm almost kind of starting it off very binary and making everything
Interesting.
very either like I'm picking out the areas I'm gonna highlight pink, and I'm picking out the areas I'm gonna highlight white, and then I'm gonna go in and start blending in the middle areas a little bit more.
I see. So you're doing the opposite of what I learned.
I will ultimately do what you learned, but I would say I'm extending what you learned about Zenithal, the way you Zenithal primed a little bit, because I'm making it just 2 options here at first. Mm-hmm. Right?
I see.
And then I'm going to go in and do the midtones.
I think you're afraid of the palette, Zach. I think that's what's going on.
Well, I'm gonna make it.
It is a little scary.
Nope,
Like,
not.
I think so.
Not scared.
Well, I thought it was. I was a little scared to go after I was done with my black and white.
Yeah.
I was a little afraid to jump into the color. So it took me a while to get there. I started kind of late.
I see.
Oh yeah, we have some super chats.
Yeah, thank you. We do have some super chats here. Thank you, Super Reedy. Happy anniversary, and thank you for
Yay.
taking the time to share with us. Sharing is caring. Oh, you guys, you do care. So
Wouldn't want to be anywhere else on my anniversary.
I know, right? We didn't
tell
mention
you that.
we didn't mention it. If you're not familiar, Megan and I are married.
We're married.
And this happens to be our wedding anniversary today.
Yeah.
And
I said, Zach, I would like to spend my anniversary with chat. Can we do that?
With chat, yeah. It's true, actually.
I do love chat. I love chat so much.
And I had just gone back from Nova after having not been on air here for 2 weeks. Kat and Lindsay holding down the fort for us, doing an awesome job. And so I kind of knew I wasn't going to get the night off. And also next Wednesday I won't be here. Kat and Adrian will be on stream. So I knew that if I took this one day off, I'd be not on stream for like a month, which I didn't want to do. So, but I did want to spend the anniversary with my wife. So this was the solution.
I like it. It's different.
It's different. It's a different way to spend a wedding anniversary.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's not a very special anniversary anyway.
Number-wise, no.
It's only 13.
Yeah. So
I'm starting to lay down.
we're happy to
some
be. Oh
greens,
yeah, let's take a look.
I'm just going in with green. It doesn't have to be perfect. Should I put a light on? Will it help the audience?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see.
yeah.
All right, you guys can work on that. But anyways, it doesn't have to be clean. Like you're kind of just finding those areas that should be this middle color and enhancing it. And if it's okay to mess up like your boundaries because you're going to go in with all these other colors. So as I work on my gradation, as I get closer to the front, I can do this wet and wet, or I can wait till the end and do some blending later. But, this gets lighter, so I want to move up my palette to the lighter side. It's like right here in front of me. There's no guesswork involved. I just move left or right.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. And it's very organic. you go back and forth a lot.
Okay.
You learn to like be okay being sloppy because you're gonna fix it.
You know, Meg, you started me off on this, and then last night, and then I in our home studio, I airbrushed my cogs, and I actually went back and forth quite a bit. I did the pink first. No, I did the mid-tone first. Okay, then I did the light. Then I did the red. Then I did the mid-tone again. Then I did the light again. Then I did the red again. Then I did the mid-tone one more time. So I actually went back and forth on the airbrush, laying down these coats quite a few times.
Yeah, you can see why this isn't really sustainable if you want to paint an army really quickly or have a lot of models to do, you know. But if you have the time, I mean, it's a good exercise, I think, in working on, like, learning about light sources.
I think it's a really great way. We talk about a lot of things like to start with an airbrush. If you had grabbed like a Space Marine army or something like that, and you know, like let's say you're doing Imperial Fist, right? And you want to go back and forth and do this with like some different yellows. I think you could really end up after like a day of airbrushing.
Yeah.
I think easy airbrushing too, right? Like I'm not talking like Sotar stuff. This is like Patriot stuff or Iwata stuff, Eclipse. And I think like at the end of the day, what you would end up with is a beautifully base coated army that then says, okay, now I'm going to go in here and do the paintings, do the brushwork like you see Megan doing here. So I don't know. I think in some ways it is a kind of a good beginner's technique for.
I think so too.
Painting an army. I think, listen, like you said, it's not sustainable.
Oh, I guess I'm talking more so about like going in and covering up your work, right?
The brushwork,
that's a lot of work to do on a full army, which I can understand.
You would certainly, yeah, you're right. You'd be limiting the brushwork. Like after you lay down the base coat, you'd be right away looking how to like get a wash and a couple easy techniques like. I kind of high output techniques like washes and dry brushing. You'd be wanting to get those going for like working in your favor pretty quick.
I would imagine. Like I said, like this is my first time trying this out in a quick, well, let's go back even further. My first time doing this was at Nova, right? Like I didn't really think this way. So this is my second time trying this Zenithal start and enhance. So we'll see how it goes. My goal was to get this guy done today, and I'm looking and I'm like, is this going as fast as I need it to for that to happen? I'm not sure yet. I guess I'll find out when we do some check-ins a little later.
Yeah, but I will say, obviously I'm the Sigmar guy around the studio. I will say that these endless spells are fantastic for, I don't know, just breaking up like what it is you're doing.
Yeah.
But also like getting to paint something for your army. So I'm like really happy that I got all of these. Well, not all of them, but many of them.
Yeah, they're fun. They're like an easy, non-threatening way to work on some rendering skills, I think. You don't need it to look real, because again, it's not real. You just need it to look believable. Like you need to just believe the light source.
Exactly, yeah. Okay.
All right, is that it?
Nope. No, yep, that's it. Cool.
See you guys later.
See ya. Thank you, Liberty Fires. We got to meet Liberty Fires. Well, first of all, Liberty Fires says, Meg.
Liberty Fires.
We got to meet Liberty Fires. Super interesting, interesting guy. And I used that word yesterday on the show. And yeah, a gentleman. Interesting was a word that people said.
Well-traveled.
Yeah, maybe made it sound like he was like
whatever that means.
Yeah, like it's kind of one of those words where like, oh, he's an interesting person. That can sound nefarious. Not my intent. He was not nefarious.
He's really not nefarious at all.
Not nefarious at all. Very nice. Had a lot of fun with Liberty Fires.
Did he like Scrapple or not? I can't remember.
He gave it a B-.
Okay, that's fine.
And said he probably wouldn't need it ever again.
Oh my gosh.
That he didn't hate his only life experience with Scrapple.
Great.
And so, you know, like, look, for
that's all we can ask for, really.
I think so, right? For somebody that didn't grow up with Scrapple, I think them saying like, hey, you know what? I didn't hate it. I'll never eat it again, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Good job.
Pretty good. Good job, Liberty Fires, on liking Scrapple
Yeah.
enough to not hate it.
Made me happy.
Yeah.
I'm always happy when I can spread the good word of Scrapple.
Yeah.
I love it way more than I should.
Scrapple, yeah.
I have no business liking it. I'm not from your neck of the woods, you know?
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, a lot of people from my neck of the woods don't like it, to be fair.
What? Doesn't make sense.
But thank you, Liberty Fires,
Yeah.
as always.
Thank you.
It was great to meet you. It was great to meet East Coast fans in general. It's actually really from my neck of the woods, as Meg just said, where I'm from. And the fact that I've really never, I feel in this context as a Warhammer person, really more like a West Coast person, because that's where, that's the events we've gone to. We've met more.
Built a life out here.
Built a life out
Yeah.
here. We've really met more West Coast fans than we have East Coast fans. And so it was cool to go meet East Coast fans and people from where I'm from, honestly. I am now doing a little bit of, so now I'm going down here and hitting some areas with this white ink very carefully. And this is what I was talking about now that I'm starting to lay down base coats, not base coats, but edge highlights. Kind of edge highlights of the white. And I love the AK ink for this highlighting because it goes on so translucently that you can kind of almost let the one layer pretty much lets the pink show through. Mm-hmm. And then if you want it more white, you just add another layer. Kind of like that about it, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like how this does a lot of the thinking for me, this technique. I don't have to think too hard about where my colors are going to go because it's right there. So I'm just sort of plugging in a more opaque version of that color.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that is, in and of itself, you begin that process that Megan's talking about of like the more opaque version. You begin that process like the second time you start going back with the rattle can or the airbrush. And that's why I went back so many times with these different colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Interesting way to paint. But I'm excited too now, whatever my next big project is, to try to incorporate this. And I don't know what my next big project. Well.
Yeah. Well.
Well.
Will it be AOS related, you think?
Well, we have. There's a lot.
There's been a lot of AOS talk around this studio.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Definitely. So no, I can't. Won't talk about my next big project yet. But
Is it a secret?
Man, there's a couple.
Should I not even be asking these questions?
Well, I'm not gonna. I can't answer.
You'll just ignore me. Yeah, I'm used to it. Just kidding, guys.
Yeah. That thing where.
That thing where wives joke about their husbands like they're not there.
Being awful.
Yeah,
being
no.
like awful human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you, Willow. Happy anniversary,
Yay!
chat.
Hi, Willow.
Really, it's all our anniversaries now.
Heck yeah.
Wish I'd gone to hang out with y'all more, but I burnt out hard. LVO class, maybe?
Yes, please. Oh my gosh, I was burnt out as well, and I was barely there on Saturday. I had 2 classes that I took on Saturday, but I also had work all day. I couldn't get out of work. So I was up pretty early, not too early because I was on the East Coast, but working West Coast time. But I was camping out in Bridger's Hotel because you and I were staying with your sister. And I ran back and forth to the hotel room in between my classes. And I was basically working till 10 p.m. where I got to come down and do the Emperor Hangout, which was great. But a lot of people had left by then. But I feel you, Willow. I was exhausted, and I was barely there. we woke up so early to get to Nova since we were staying with your sister. But
Yeah,
what about you, Zach?
We were staying with my sister who lived about an hour away, me, Brett, and Megan. And so each morning we got up and had to travel down to the location. I probably wouldn't do that again.
No.
It wasn't really that bad, at least not at first. But yeah, it did kind of add up, right?
Well, we were up late most nights, and it just took us forever. Like, we'd get home so late, like 1 in the morning, and then we'd have to leave at like 7 or 8 the next day. We were just tired.
It added up. Brett especially was.
He was a madman.
Brett especially was, cause what Brett put himself through. I think he was fine, but could only be described as behavior of a madman for sure. Because he was Thursday. I think he was there till like midnight, and then had to be back like the next morning very early. He was really the most insane of all of us.
I know. Oh man. Oh shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say. That's all right. We'll come back to it, I'm sure.
But Willow brings up kind of a good point. Willow didn't really bring up a point, but what happened to Willow is a good cautionary tale for all of us. And it's sort of funny, I've talked about after Nova.
Conventions are tiring.
Conventions are tiring. We all know this. Yeah. After Nova, I was saying, what I might do next convention is I might do like 1 day of paint, like get there, do like AOS teams, then do like 1 day of painting, then do like an AOS RTT, or do like an Aeronautica or a kill team thing, like just like a different event every day. That sounds really fun. But what's so funny about this, I don't know about
variety is the spice of life.
I know, but I don't know about you guys at home, but for me, I'm already signed up for both SoCal and LVO to do full GTs again. So like I'm already,
oh boy,
there's like no real,
you're doomed.
Right, like I'd have to now, at this point, the next one after that I probably will go to is the BAO. So I'm already like, okay, I'm not getting away with this. And that's really the problem, right? We all sort of do this. The version of us that signs up for these events is not the version of us that arrives and has to participate in these events, right?
Yeah.
And well, actually, even the version of us that arrives is sometimes different than the version 24 hours later, who is certainly different than the version 48 hours or 36 hours later, right? So I think if you're ever wondering, like, why do I keep doing this to myself? I mean, that's why. It's really a different Willow that signed up for Nova.
Right.
Then
wasn't you, Willow.
It really wasn't you, Willow. It's really not your fault.
Past Willow.
It was a past Willow that signed up.
She was younger and had more piss and vinegar in her.
And right, and then got there, and that Willow that went there right away, because that Willow that showed up, that Willow had the opportunity to be like, you know what? Is there room in this class? And could I? And honestly, the people in Nova probably would have like said, yeah, we can make that happen. But even the Willow who showed up was like, oh no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this at the event. So
are you blaming the victim here?
I'm well, kind of, but past versions of Willow.
True.
So really, like that's the problem.
Current Willow can't be held responsible.
Yeah, exactly. But it was glad to meet you. Willow will be back out east as well.
Yes.
I'm guessing you're going to be at LVO.
Yes, and I will not be working at that.
At LVO.
At LVO, I will not. So
yeah, do you
I
think
can
you're
actually
gonna,
hang
and you're
out.
Are you taking classes?
I am taking classes. I'm taking another giant one. Shoot, I think now I can't even remember what it was. I think it was another not bust class, but it's with Will Hahn. Somebody look up the Will Hahn giant class at LVO. I forget what it's for. I think it had to do with like mystical painting or something.
Not your mother's mystical painting?
It's not a not your mother's.
Oh, okay.
It's just a normal named class. Yeah. And it's like 2 or 3 days broken up, I think.
Not your mother's paint class?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it's called. I honestly forget, but I was like, oh, by then I should be ready. I should be ready for some like next level magical painting because I'm going to work on all this stuff I've learned. Yeah.
Well, speaking of mystical and magical, you guys know we like to do top 5s around here.
Are we ready for top 5?
I think we should.
I'm so
we should
excited.
hop into
I
top
love
5.
top 5. I was thinking I had a whole other hour to wait or something.
Now,
Time flies.
we in the past, Adrian and I have done a episode where we did top 5 nerds.
Oh yeah.
In the 40K world, and what we meant by nerds really at 40K and Sigmar, just in Games Workshop in general, and what we meant by nerds was wizards. Today, Megan and I are doing something a little bit different. We decided we would do
Wizards.
top 5 wizards outside of the Warhammer world.
That's good.
So
I would have had a tough time.
Right. Let's do this. Here we go.
Who's
I think
first?
we're starting with you.
Ooh.
Okay. So talk to us about these wizards.
All right. We starting
And
with
why you
Schmendrick?
love this. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll be honest. I'm not a big wizard girl. Like, wizards are cool, but I kind of had to think for a minute to come up with 5. But the one who jumped out at me first was, of course, Schmendrick, the magician from The Last Unicorn. Why Schmendrick? He's not a good magician. He's actually pretty bad. Routinely gets things wrong and can't control his spells. But because of, I think, he's a good guy. His intentions are good. He said, magic, do as you will. And the unicorn turns into Lady Amalthea. And that's what eventually saves her and allows her to save her unicorn friends and family. And so he's all right in my book. He's a good traveling companion.
Yeah, and you're a big fan of The Last Unicorn.
Oh boy, words cannot express how much I absolutely love that movie.
So of course, like that's what a lot of this is about, right?
Of course,
where's the wizard from, right?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. But yeah, Schmendrick.
So okay, Schmendrick, played by Alan Arkin.
Oh yeah, that's right, a young Alan Arkin.
A young Alan Arkin. Okay, this one's a little more niche.
Oh yeah, I wonder if anybody will get it. I'm gonna give you a second. Okay, you've had it. This is what do we call this guy? The
magician
suck magician from I Think You Should Leave. Sketch comedy.
Sketch comedy on Netflix. Tim Robinson. Meg and I are a big fan of this show. And look, the guy on the left getting strangled. Magicians suck.
Yeah. I mean, the skit is like magicians suck, which I'm not saying I agree with. But this magician, I mean, he put on a good show, right? Like, he was cracking some jokes and pretty funny. And, I don't know.
Great sketch.
He's all right.
Great
good
sketch comedy. Good sketch comedy, I think you should leave. If you're not
I think I'm picking it for the sketch and not him.
Exactly, of course.
Yeah.
But good sketch comedy, if you're a fan of sketch comedy, I think you should leave. Quite
very
absurd. Very absurd.
Yeah. Gotta be into that.
Magicians
kind of
suck. Look, we
suck.
knew this. Okay, I had no idea what this thing was.
I hope I don't have green on my nose from my hand.
You're good.
Okay. All right, you guys have had a chance to guess this guy. It is Lord Karuku from Unico. And Unico is like this is anime. You should know this. You have no excuse.
It is. It's older.
Anime. It's old.
It's older anime.
Yeah, Unico is this little unicorn, of course, got carried around by, I think she was like the North Wind or something wind, and always dropped off. She was being protected from like this horrible being that wanted to get rid of her, and goes on little adventures. And there's three little adventures that Unicorn goes on, and Unico goes on. One of them is Unico in the Island of Magic, where she has to fight this guy, Lord Karuku. He used to be a puppet in this universe. He was a puppet, and his puppet masters were so cruel to him that he like absorbs their toxicity, their negative vibes, and becomes like this sorcerer jerk who wants to turn the entire world into puppets, and so she has to defeat him. But I liked him. He's got a little sad story. It is sad when you learn what has happened to him, and at the end, oh my gosh, spoilers! Turn it off if you don't want to ruin the end of Unico. But don't turn it off because you're supposed to watch this. He gets some redemption, and some love back in his life from one of the girls, the girl from the movie. So yeah, I liked his arc, and I thought it was an interesting concept for a character, and he's a cool wizard.
I have no idea what she's talking about.
Oh my gosh.
All
We'll
right.
have to watch it. Should we watch it for our anniversary?
This is it, Meg.
All right.
This is our anniversary.
Oh, right, sorry. We'll just turn this off and put on Unico.
Classic pick here.
Yeah, I know. I had to pick Gandalf, right? Like he's pretty cool, and I specifically chose Gandalf the Grey because I think
because of his appearance in the Hobbit trilogy.
well, again, I like The Hobbit. I'm not a super fan like you, but no, I picked Gandalf. I picked Gandalf the Grey because I think Gandalf the Grey has a better sense of humor than Gandalf the White. I'd much rather hang out with Gandalf the Grey than Gandalf the White.
Yeah, I guess that's
Too
true.
serious.
Yeah, Gandalf the White gets pretty serious, right? That said,
Although he does prank the traveling companion.
I know, like what a
which I thought was
what
funny.
a sick prank. Like, why do that? It's so weird.
It was like
they think
the
it's
remnant.
Christopher Lee, and it's like, oh yeah, it's not.
Like, what if they had actually hit him? I mean, then I guess he wouldn't have been a very good wizard.
Yeah. like Bill Murray in Zombieland.
Yeah.
Okay, so classic pick, and then this last one,
Yeah.
also kind of a classic pick, right?
Yeah, Willow. Change Me Back. I love Willow. I love that movie. I loved it as a kid. Was so happy when like DVDs became a thing and I could like go buy it and watch it. Willow. I mean, he's got such a cool arc and so wholesome. I just love Willow. Willow cares about his family. He cares about this little baby that he's supposed to be protecting. He hangs out with Mad Mortigan. Good for him.
Is that Val Kilmer?
Val Kilmer's character is so annoying in the movie. He's supposed to be, but yeah. So I do love Willow, and I love the movie, and so Willow gets my wizard vote, my wizard pick.
I like it. Yeah. Wizards, great wizards.
They're okay wizards.
They're okay wizards. Gandalf
is the
big
good one. Yeah.
And what is going?
Is your life falling apart?
My thingy is like curling up here.
Your thingy is curling up. He says.
My paper thing.
Oh,
here.
okay.
It's like curling up at the edge. I guess I don't know what's going on. If it's like too dry here, or
Maybe.
maybe I just.
Do you want to use this scraper?
I have my own. Yeah.
Look at the way you're using that scraper. Can we get it? Can you zoom in on this?
It is on me.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Well, I know normally you use it this way, but I thought I could actually press more of it down at once if I did
teasing.
this. Okay.
Yeah.
So top 5 wizards. Good. Here we go. Zach's top 5 wizards. Okay. So first, this is also from the 80s. Megan and I have a lot of 80s wizards.
So old.
David Bowie as Gareth, the Goblin King from Labyrinth. Some of these 80s wizards are barely wizards. Let's not kid ourselves. He's really more of a song and dance man. If you were going to describe Gareth,
I mean, that's like one of his spells, right? Dance, magic, dance.
if you were going to describe Gareth as either a wizard or a song and dance man, you'd pick. I think most people pick song and dance.
I don't think I'd pick wizard.
And
but he is.
Also, let's not kid ourselves. A lot of his wizardry is resolved this crystal ball. I'd like to see how much wizardry he can do without this crystal ball.
Okay.
So
well,
is he a wizard or is he a song and dance man who stumbled upon a crystal ball?
good questions that are being posed here.
Because he's very good at song and dance.
Oh my goodness.
But I mean, he gets defeated. He gets defeated
right.
by like a 13-year-old girl. So is he that great of a wizard? But maybe not. But he is on my list. He is one of my favorite wizards.
Well, he's got good stage presence.
He does. Oh yeah. I mean, again, a song and dance.
A song
man.
and dance man. No, you're right, Zach.
All right.
You're always right.
That's just what I need to hear. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, speaking of good stage presence, and by the way, maybe again, can't help but wonder if he had showed out on the theatrics, might have pulled off a win.
Another song and dance man.
Kind of another song and dance man.
Yeah,
here.
I mean he sings, doesn't he?
He does sing.
A song.
Wait.
Does he sing?
No, I think he's.
There's Prince Ali.
No, I think.
Sung by a lot. Does he even have a line in Prince Ali?
No, I think Jafar is like the only.
So he's not a song and dance man.
I think he doesn't have a song.
Chat will tell us at some point.
Jafar, no song.
Don't lose track of Super Ready's Super Ready, Super Reedy. Oh, he's
Super Reedy.
Soups. Don't forget his.
Jafar.
What do you guys say? Oh my gosh.
Jafar is not a no song, right? Okay, just let me know. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, he does. What's the song, Haunted Bagel? What is the song?
Oh, yeah, tell us, Haunted Bagel.
In
the second. Oh, like in the sequels.
No.
That counts. That counts.
Okay.
That
All
counts.
right.
I mean,
sorry, I don't.
I think the second one is supposed to be the good one.
Really? You know.
I heard one of them is not bad.
Oh, I think it's the third. Robin Williams
third?
comes back.
Okay.
Liberty Fire says Jafar is not a song and dance man. No, I don't think so either, Liberty Fires, but he's a little too like, I don't know. He's just like, he's a bit of a drama, just like a drama guy, right? And he's got this parrot. I don't know. Gilbert Gottfried.
He's got this parrot.
What's the parrot's name? I forgot.
Iago.
Iago. Okay.
Iago. Oh, second part of Prince Ali. Okay, so not even a sequel. So I was right.
Yeah.
He probably has like a line
a little
or something.
bit in Prince
I can't
Ali.
remember it though.
But he doesn't get his own song. He's not like
yeah, I can't.
Well, Scar doesn't either.
Yes, he does.
Scar has a song.
Scar has
Be prepared.
Yes.
Be prepared. Oh
it's
my
a
God.
big
Okay,
musical
Scar has
number.
Be Prepared. That psycho from Hunchback of Notre Dame has that like.
Frollo.
Is that insane
that
song?
horrible song.
Ursula has a song.
The Lamp.
There's not really a true bad guy. I guess
It's been a while
Gaston.
since we gotta watch that tonight too. I guess.
Yeah, all of them.
Aladdin,
we've got
Unico.
We've got about 18 hours of movie watching
Oh my gosh,
to get through
we're
today.
doomed.
All right, here
Okay.
we go. You guys knew I was going to be a psycho and pick some. Here's Mr. Wizard.
Yes.
When I was young.
Me too, by the way, whatever you're about to say.
When I was young, you got up to go to school, and what happened is you got up to go to school, and there were cartoons on, and you watched about an hour of cartoons, like while you were eating breakfast, getting ready for school, then you went to school. If you got up a little too early,
Yep.
and you turned to the channel that had cartoons, instead of cartoons, there was this dude.
You had education.
You got education. They were like, hey, you know what kids want before they go to school? Not education.
More school.
Yeah. They're like, let's tuck the education all the way back into like pretty much the night before. Like to say Mr. Wizard came on Thursday morning, he pretty much came on like Wednesday night. Like you could almost say like, oh, it's Wednesday night. Mr. Wizard's on the air. And what's amazing though, kind of about Mr. Wizard, I know, Haunted Bagel, this file was literally called "Mr. Wizard is a Jerk." That's the name of this image file. Like
What's he doing?
In
What's
this
he
case,
doing?
he's like playing this loud blast sound in this girl's ear.
Oh my gosh. Why can't I see? Oh, I see her covering her ear.
Yeah. She's
In pain.
She's miserable. Yeah, Mr. Wizard. I honestly don't quite remember that. I was probably just used
that he was
to,
a jerk, or this specific
that he was a
sketch?
jerk. I was probably just used to all adults being jerks back then.
Oh, I remember thinking he seemed like a nice old grandpa guy.
Same.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
times have changed.
Exactly.
Listen, if somebody, like, my parents didn't smoke, but if somebody in my community like took me to school, like, they'd be smoking in the car. So if you're talking about, adults, yeah, it used to be jerks back then.
Oh yeah, that was funny about Nova too. I was very caught off guard by how many people smoke. It's fine. Like we're just not used to it here. Like people
Yeah,
just
nobody
don't
in
really-
California smokes.
They're having other things.
Yeah, well,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yeah, he's casting a spell on her eardrums. Yeah.
Yeah. What a wizard.
Shatter skull. But one of the kind of cool things about Mr. Wizard is, Graham, you gotta look up Mr. Wizard. I kind of feel like you would like Mr. Wizard, Graham. One of the cool things about Mr. Wizard is this thing right here. Like, if you guys think about it, this is sort of an early predecessor to Mythbusters, which is sort of like an early predecessor to like Mr. Beast and just like stuff on YouTube where people do crazy stuff on YouTube, like sciencey things. So I would submit that this is like part of a long lineage of like, hey, want to see something cool? Like, and this is like really early on. Like, hey, want to see something cool?
And kids do like seeing cool. I mean, this wasn't what I wanted to watch, but it was on, and I'd watch it, and I'd be like, oh, that's cool.
It's like, hey, normally I come downstairs at like 6:08 and like I'm like tuning in half like into the second act of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something, or Looney Tunes or whatever. But every now and then I got up a little early, and it's like, oh wow, the last half of Mr. Wizard.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Wizard. Okay, look,
Yeah.
Gargamel.
Gargamel.
Speaking
What an
of,
odd choice.
Speaking of like being a kid in the 90s and not having the internet, every now and then you turned on the TV and there's a cartoon on that just sucked. Smurfs was that cartoon.
What?
Let's not kid ourselves.
I liked Smurfs.
Sucks. It sucks. All these Hanna-Barbera cartoons suck.
Wow.
That's not even a hot take. I'm going to refuse to accept that that's a hot
I
take.
think it's a little hot.
All right, Meg says, me saying Hanna-Barbera. Okay, anyway, Gargamel, you kind of rooted for Gargamel. Because
I didn't. I don't know what you're talking about over here. He's not even an interesting villain.
But I mean, like...
Okay, but sorry, I shouldn't cut you off.
No, I mean...
Go ahead and tell us why I poisoned
just
my well. Tell us why you picked Gargamel. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I just feel like it was hard to really, truly root for the Smurfs. The Smurfs. Like, what are they? What are they, like...
The little blue guys.
I know. And like, Gargamel is just truly a jerk. Like, the Smurfs really don't do
Right.
anything wrong. Like, I wouldn't wish any ill upon the Smurfs like Gargamel did, but...
So why did you pick Gargamel? I'm
Honestly, I picked Gargamel because I remember hating the Smurfs.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fair. I think that's fair.
Space Race. And who are the Snorkels?
Snorfs?
No, who are the Snorkels? They're basically Smurfs, but underwater.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't watch that, but no, I know what you mean about Hanna-Barbera. It's all right.
No, and I know,
it's not
like...
my favorite, but a lot of people like it.
I know, and Mindy's saying...
And it's not bad.
I know,
It's just not my
Mindy's
thing.
saying, like, kids of the late 70s. I'm, like, what was I? Like a kid of the late 80s, right?
Yeah,
So I get
early
it,
90s.
like taste change.
Right.
So...
I'm trying to imagine kids today watching Ren and Stimpy. Like, what would they think? I don't know. I really don't know because I don't have kids. Yeah.
Well, we know my niece and nephew watched it.
They
thought
do.
It was, thought
They're
it was
goofy,
hilarious.
though. They're cynical like we are.
I guess that's true.
Anyway. Sorry,
Okay.
I keep cutting you off about... Do we know why Zach likes Gargamel? Do we?
Because I hate
Because you hate the Smurfs. Okay, fair.
Snorks, yeah, come along with
Snorks.
us. Snorks, yeah. Last but not least, this is Rupert Gint smoking a cigarette and hanging out. This is actually Ron Weasley, and he's a wizard.
Yep,
And
that counts.
so I picked him because I think in all of the Harry Potter.
That is Ron Weasley.
Yeah, I think in all
in
of
his true form.
in his true form, I think of all the wizards in Harry Potter, he's my favorite one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do actually. I do like Ron. He's kind of funny. He's like the comic relief. Good guy. I don't know. Yeah, I think you and I we've talked a lot about how we sort of miss the, speaking of times changing and franchises that we love. Like kids from the 70s love the Smurfs franchise. I think you and I sort of missed the boat on Harry Potter. We're just a little too old.
I don't know. I mean, I know what you mean, but also a lot of people our age like it.
Yeah, I think
Like,
we're
a lot.
I think we're like, there'd be like a chart that says like if you're this old, you're more likely to like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I think like our age group is probably like 50% or something. Like, I'd have to guess. Like, I meet a lot of we have a lot of friends that also don't like Harry Potter, or not don't like it, but just don't know about it or know much about it.
I think we need a poll.
I don't dislike Harry Potter stuff at all. I just am like, I don't know. Every time we try to watch the movies, I'm like, what is going on? I don't know.
Well, okay, well, we've tried watching all of the movies. We've done Harry Potter marathons, I think by ourselves. And then
I don't think we ever did one by ourselves.
I think we did try, and we just talked through the whole thing, right? Maybe not. Maybe we tried and we gave up. But we did eventually have a marathon party with all our Harry Potter friends at the time. We didn't know Adrian yet, so he wasn't there. But we set up like rows of seating in our living room, and then had the first movie on Friday. We watched 3 on Saturday and the rest on Sunday. It was really fun, and people brought like Harry Potter snacks, and we played little Harry Potter games in between the movies. It was fun, but I couldn't tell you a thing about the movies. I just wasn't enthralled.
Yeah. I feel
Which
like
is fine. It's not my thing. That's all.
that's kind of the way
I keep poisoning my well.
we say, which is that we kind of, I feel like we missed the boat on it, so to speak. I don't know that I'm envious of people that love Harry Potter, especially with everything they've had to go through with like the
I know.
politics and stuff and the controversy.
Like,
of
way
the
to
author.
ruin it
like,
for everybody,
right, I know,
lady.
like, I know, right? Like, ugh. That's really
People feel
honestly,
so
like, that's so
betrayed.
disappointing.
I know.
I don't even know. Like, honestly, I guess my favorite franchise is Warhammer 40,000.
I mean, that can be kind of toxic too sometimes.
I guess so. The game,
Good
but
thing there's tabletop titans fighting that.
Yeah. I just that would be honestly that would be. I don't know why I'm saying all this.
We're getting too deep.
I'm just salting the wounds of people who are big Harry Potter fans. But I would just say, that would be lame.
Yeah, and we've talked about this a little bit on our podcast because we've seen plenty of movies where somebody does something terrible and now they're tainting that movie. And how do you deal with that?
Yeah.
You know, and I like to think like, well, if I've already paid money for it, there's nothing else like they can get from me at this point. And there's lots of other people who worked on the film who
that's true.
Who
right.
weren't necessarily part of that mess. And
that's what you want to tell. That's how to think about it.
Well, I'm being honest. Like they worked hard. They deserve to have their work celebrated. You know, not just the actors, but the production crew.
Rupert Gint and friends. Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Anyway, so yay, I'm getting heckled. Fun. Hi. Thanks for heckling. I love it. I work with him. Kind of.
Oh, okay.
He works at the same company.
This is fun. This is interesting, though. We should maybe just mention this because last time Meg was on.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Some of her friends from her childhood came on and actually ended up getting kicked out.
I think they were about to get kicked out.
Because it's not really a general vibe of our community to do that. So
yeah,
just
I know.
a quick heads up.
Every time I join your show, I'm like, don't forget to heckle me, guys.
Yeah, maybe not.
And
Yeah. So we'll just make sure that that's known.
You know, I was expecting like the kind of heckling I do. I think I do some light heckling. That's all right.
Maybe
in the spirit of the channel.
Yeah. We definitely.
Well, I try to make chat happy.
We definitely ended up banning one of your childhood middle school friends almost immediately. I think it was like 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
Your sister came pretty close to getting kicked out too. So
I was
heads
like,
up.
Guys, try not to heckle me like we're still in the 90s.
Yeah.
Just do some like light heckling. Yep. Are you mad now?
No, I'm not mad. But whoever...
he just said heckle, heckle. That's fine.
Oh, gosh.
Heckle. Now you can't. This is fine.
All
this
right,
is tame.
This
is PG. This is G.
Let's see where you're at
good.
here.
But yeah. Oh, sure.
Because it's actually looking pretty cool. Let's do shoulder, not shoulder zoom quite yet. Oh, yeah, this is looking nice.
Can you guys see that okay? I hope so. Anyways, I've just been mostly working on my middle of my palette, and then sort of branching out a little bit, because it's fun. Like, you know, I want to test it out. And then I threw some highlights on top just to kind of see how they're looking. You probably can't see it. Can I like raise this up?
Oh, here, I can do a zoom, right?
Okay. So just like playing with some of the highlights right now, but I'll have to come back. I think I'm going to start working on the darks. I don't think I'm going to get to the inside today so much.
Okay.
I'm realizing this is a bit time consuming. So I'm going to get to work on my darks, and then once I get closer to the front, I'll start pulling out the brights. We'll see how far I get. I'm hoping I can finish, but we'll see.
Where I'm at, view won't be quite as good. I guess I could hand it to you. I'm just kind of working on this bottom edge highlighting area here. So just brushwork, just going back with thin layers of pink and white and mixes of pink and white to kind of make this look just like a magical burst coming up from the top, or from the bottom, excuse me. And I can tell there's going to need to be some cleanup. And I'm going to move on shortly here to the metallic parts, which I'm also very excited about.
Exactly, Siege Roots. I'm with you, man. Like, I can handle it, but yeah, I wasn't expecting to get heckled for my roots showing. I was getting heckled for some weird personal stuff.
Yeah, it did not.
It was weird.
I mean, like,
But I knew she was messing around. But of course, your audience doesn't because they're nice. You guys are nice people.
Right. It just like
so
wasn't.
I apologize. I know that was my fault.
Yeah.
And Zach and I will have a lengthy conversation, I'm sure, about it.
No, it was.
I'm just kidding.
We did actually after that
happened.
happened. It
He
was like
not happy with me.
It was pretty crazy. And yeah, but to the credit of our community, I don't know if it was,
they were standing up for me.
I don't know if it was Melody
I was like, yeah,
or
kick
who
her
did
out.
it.
She doesn't deserve to be here.
Somebody was like, I don't know who this person is, but they're out of here.
Yeah.
So thank you as always, community.
Thanks for looking out for us, community. I did not mean to invite the trolls. It's contrary to popular belief. I don't like sowing that kind of chaos.
Yeah, I think just like worlds colliding. Like,
I know,
whoa.
like this is like when you invite a bunch of friends over to a party and you're like, they'll get along all right, and you realize like, ooh, I should not have put those groups of people together.
Which I will say, famously,
you're against.
I'm against.
You are.
Yeah. Thank you again, Liberty Fires. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Man, I'm sure that brings up so many great memories. And of course, question, top 3 anniversary gifts.
Yay!
Go.
Ooh, anniversary gifts.
Ooh.
God, I can't remember. Can you remember any gifts we've given each other? Hold on. Okay, let me think. I'm sure there were some good ones. Given or received? Yeah. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Received.
So okay, hold on. Let's give a little.
Oh, I'm gonna claim Hawaii. Hawaii's mine. That was our gift to each other.
Sure. Let's give a little bit of full disclosure here. That was our 10th wedding anniversary, right before COVID. On the 19th, 2019 in September, we went to Hawaii. Full disclosure: one of the reasons our anniversary is on the 14th is because Megan's birthday is on September 7th and mine is on September 21st. So we specifically put our wedding anniversary right 7 days after hers and 7 days before mine. Not at the time, we just thought it was cool. I think we still think it's cool.
Oh, I do.
But same here. But one of the things that I would say that that has happened since is that lots of times gift giving is more associated with our birthdays, maybe.
Yeah, we don't really do.
Typically, we do something.
Presents,
typically, we kind of do something together. We'll go somewhere, or we'll go to a fancy dinner or something. I think in the past we've done things like that.
But let's try to come up with an answer for Liberty Fires.
Yeah,
anyway.
of course. I actually cannot truly say what we have done, but I do know at least once. I feel like we went to La Pepillon, right? Like that might have been for one of our birthdays, though.
That's all right. They're close enough.
Which is like this French, high-end French restaurant, fixed price menu that we've done before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but we can think of some gifts, right? Let's see. What did we do last year? I don't even remember.
Yeah, I definitely don't. I feel like I cook for her sometimes.
You bought me. Oh, you know what I really liked was my Audible subscription that you got me. I know that sounds lame, but I liked it. I liked having a book every month to read. Yeah. I bought The Stand on audio books. That's my favorite book of all time. So I like to just listen to certain chapters that speak to me. Okay, so that's one.
Oh my gosh. I really don't know.
I shouldn't claim Hawaii. That's cheating.
No, it's okay. I truly don't know. I don't know what I've gotten you or what you've gotten me. because like I said, it's all blended in with our birthday.
That's okay.
Like
Let's just pick gifts then.
Okay.
We gotta make this work for Liberty.
Here's another component to Liberty Fire's question is that there are official.
There's never just one part.
There are official things to get each other for your birthday.
Year one is like what, wood?
Paper, I think.
Paper?
I think wood might be 5.
I bought you some Vespid one time.
You did get me.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Again, I can't remember.
I liked it because you were like, oh wow, I never would have bought this because Vespid are metal at the time. Like, I don't know what they're like now, but
they also were famously
they weren't
awful.
very good. Like,
really
but I was like, I
cool
just went to the
now.
store and I was like, oh, these look cool. I like them. I want to see him paint them, and they're from his army, so it'll work.
That was actually I do remember that gift. That was really cool for that reason. Like, we didn't have a lot of money back then, and so like every hobby purchase super mattered. And so like if I wanted, and there weren't as many options. Like This is like 12, 13 years ago.
Oops.
So if you wanted something, you know, maybe you could get like a garbage version of it off of eBay.
A garbage version.
But otherwise, like, you were going to your local store, you were paying like full price.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. I do remember that. Liberty Fires, I'm going to think on this.
We're just so bad at, I don't know, this.
At this. I'm going to think on this. All right, I'm going to check out on the Glam Cam how my guy's looking here. Pulling out some details from the bottom with a brush, trying to get the a little more energy and excitement. My side of my cogs, so you guys can see, look a little sloppy. That's going to require a lot of cleanup and a little bit of thought into how I edge highlight there. It's kind of weirdly easier to highlight on this somewhat two-dimensional model. I'm finding it a lot easier to highlight the front, the wide dimensions. The thin dimensions, like the sides of the cog, should be relatively easy, but it's, I don't know, there's something about it. I'm not liking how it's coming out, so I'm gonna have to fix that.
Yeah, I in the class, you know, it was less, because we were working on a bust and it was going to take 6 hours or however many hours we had left, and then you take it home and work on it. He was doing a lot of slopping paint down, like, hey, this is your goal for this area. Your goal for this area is to be this bright. So put your goal down and then work out from there. Like, and it made a lot of sense, and I was kind of doing that. I was working on my bust a little bit before the stream and doing a bit of that. I have a hard time loosening up. Like, I don't think of myself as an artist because I crave like instruction. I need rules. I need to know how to do something. And I thought him, you know, he came over to my desk and was just like, okay, so this is where you know, here's where you want to do this. And he's just slopping it on. It was a mess. And I was like, ugh, what are you doing? And no, I mean, he's right though. Like, you got to just loosen up. You got to just say like, here's my goal. I'm going to get there. And there, like I said, there's a lot of back and forth while you're painting this type of thing. If you're going for like a high quality, I want to say like paint job, it's going to get there's stages that will be messy, and
Exactly, yeah.
And you have to be okay with that. And it's as someone like, you know, we're both from the arts, right? It's really hard to show people work that's not finished.
Oh, I hate it.
It sucks because you get people's feedback and it's like, I'm not done yet, leave me alone. Give me a break.
I hate it. I stopped doing it even in our friend Bryce's, I'm going to read a super chat here in a second. Our friend Bryce.
Oh, yay. Hi, Bryce.
Great friend. Just played some Sigmar.
Yeah, we had Zach's birthday here at the studio, and Bryce came and played his Skaven.
Yeah, and we'll be seeing those soon again on the channel. Bryce and Graham as well. Brad, we're all in this narrative group where we post a lot of our hobby progress, but I tend not to anymore. And these are people that I'm consider good friends, but even among them, I was just like, you know, I cannot. I hate posting it and then getting like hey, you should try doing
do this.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like, let me finish first. Let me finish, and then let me ask you for your feedback.
Yeah.
Feedback is interesting.
Gotta line up on it though. Yeah. Yes. Why so?
Why is feedback? It's even more interesting than no feedback.
In some ways.
It's interesting because you can't just. It's not interesting. Such a dumb word. You can't just say, "Hey, I want some feedback." You're gonna get everything. You're gonna get everyone's opinions about everything, and
maybe that could be okay.
That gets overwhelming, and it's kind of like, well, I'm not asking for feedback on everything. Think about what you're asking for feedback on. Specifically, I would like feedback on my transitions. I would like feedback on my edge highlighting. That way you can cut down on people just voicing their opinions, and you can actually get information that you want to use.
Right. So, look, Sarah, I'm allergic to posting work in progress.
Yeah,
Sarah's doing commissions, and like I totally get it, man. Hopefully you caught that after you were like, "Hey, I'm not quite done with this yet." I didn't pressure you at all because I'm
we
like,
get it.
Yeah, I nodded.
So I keep looking at the TV, like I'm like nodding to chat, like chat's actually right there. It's because I'm so used to like reading chat when you guys are hanging out. How's Chad anyways? You know I always miss them.
They seem okay.
They seem okay. Okay, great. I'm glad you guys are okay.
Everyone seems safe.
Do we have a super chat to read?
We do have a super chat to read.
Bryce's.
Yeah, Bryce. I was enjoying your thoughts on the feedback, and
Oh.
I agree. I really agree with Meg. I've tried to lighten up about it a little bit, but it can be
It's tiring.
tiring. Yeah. This has been brought up before, so I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah.
I'm saying anything new. Thank you,
No.
Bryce. Not a special anniversary. 13 is the Sacred Rat anniversary.
Oh.
Speaking of Skaven, I like to mention drawing with charcoal is great practice for some fun art practice.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Bryce is interesting.
He is interesting.
For a number of ways. And again, there's that word again, interesting.
It's such a bad word,
I
but
know, like
what are
Liberty,
you going to do, you know?
like Liberty Fire is an interesting guy.
Interesting guy.
Interesting guy.
Well-traveled.
Yeah, well-traveled, interesting guy. Bryce is an interesting guy. He actually also does, before, Bob Ross got kind of cool again recently, like in the past. Before Bob Ross got cool again, this was like years ago. Yes, I know Bob Ross was always cool. Let me rephrase cool. Popular. Before Bob Ross got popular again, Bryce was like doing these Bob Ross like follow-alongs. And Bryce is like this kind of quiet guy. He seems pretty like a straight edge guy. Like Bryce doesn't really throw you any curveballs. You know what I mean? And then out of nowhere, Bryce is like, "Oh yeah, I painted this." And it's like this amazing oil painting, and he's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, just follow along with Bob Ross. It's very easy."
I need to do that. Like I was telling you, I need rules. I need process so that I understand how to approach something. And when I was in school, when I went to school for graphic design, and we had to take some fine art classes to support. My painting teacher, my one painting teacher.
You had a painting teacher you didn't.
Oh my God, it was not great. I don't know. I didn't know what I was doing, and like I said, like I'm used to people teaching me, like instructing me, like how to do something. Day one of class, his method of teaching is just. So I'm going to just put up a canvas for you, and I'm going to demo how to paint. And he just starts slapping paint up there. He's like, then, I'm thinking, oh, I want a little bit of this over here, and this part needs to be darker, so I'm just going to add this. And I'm like, oh, I think this is interesting. I'm going to go off it. And I'm like, this isn't teaching me how to paint. This is teaching me how you paint. Like, I don't know how to control the paint. I don't know how to mix colors. I don't understand viscosity. Like, there's a lot to it. And I just didn't really pick anything up from that class. So when he asked us to grade ourselves, because he didn't even want to grade us, right? I gave myself an A. I gave myself an A minus. So I was like, you know what? I did the best I could with this guy. But anyway, so I'm very timid about
Grade
painting.
yourself is kind of insane.
Yeah. It was weird. I was like, is this some like weird like art school relic like behavior? What is this?
Yeah, am I in like a 80s like coming of age movie?
Right. Like,
am I gonna look over like a young Brendan Fraser as like my classmate?
Like I want to learn something, and I want you to grade. I want to know that I'm improving. Right? It was really frustrating. But back to Bryce's question. My point is that's a really great way to learn how to paint. I mean, he does teach you how to mix colors and how to apply it and how to think about light. Like it's a good way to learn. It's nothing like, you're not doing anything unique. You're doing a Bob Ross painting, but you're picking up really good skills while you do it. So I would love to do a Bob Ross painting party with Bryce. I think that'd be so fun.
We brought it up. Yeah, we got set it up.
Can you please make time for it? Come on. Bryce, make it happen. I'm going to put this on you.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, put it on someone else.
Yeah. Thank you, Bryce.
Yes.
Yeah. Charcoal painting, interesting as well. Bryce is also a great freehand. He does a lot of freehand with like his Dark Angels and stuff.
And we've talked about doing little drawing classes together, right?
Yeah,
we've talked about like doing little, like a YouTube video together at home and just learning that way. But again, we haven't had time. We've been busy.
Well, during COVID, we did that.
We did a few. Little
yeah.
things, but we did. It was like a.
It's like the Japanese.
Yes,
one.
the Sumi painting.
Sumi.
That was fun. Yeah, at the start of COVID, we had all kinds of energy for that kind of stuff. You know, I'm as I'm painting this, I'm realizing maybe I'll just get one side of it done. I always have these lofty goals that I can't reach in the allotted time, but I just want to be realistic with myself before it gets too late.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys what I'm up to, what the approach I'm taking here, and I will show work in progress, which I know I just said I don't like doing, and I kind of stand by. But I will show you what I'm up to here in a second. I'm pretty much just kind of like getting down my darkest silver, which is lead belcher, a base coat of Citadel lead belcher, in areas where I want the metal to have been starting to materialize. Now, I'm going to have to, I'll show you what I'm going to do to do this here in a second. I'm going to have to, since it's materializing, I can't just have it suddenly turn to metal or it'll look kind of silly. So I'm going to need to kind of create this border of energy to show where the metal is starting to turn into real metal as opposed to just magic energy. But I'm getting, I can show you here on the top.
There you go, poisoning my well again.
You guys can kind of see. I'm starting to get, or here, I'll do this to Meg real quick.
What are you doing to me?
I'm starting to do sort of like a,
oh,
like
yeah.
But I have to, that metal's going to have to be coming out of somewhere, so I'm going to do like a little lightning kind of energy type feel. That's
yeah, like pulling the lightning bolts like down into the red and sort of like blending the two. That way it might look really cool. It looks nice. I'm liking it.
Yeah, those are the tops of the wet palettes called off. We got because Brett, Megan, and I all have September birthdays.
Exemplar.
I got us all an exemplar wet palette.
There's even a spot for your phone.
While we were at Nova.
So you can watch Hobby Titans while you paint.
It's true, kind of.
Yeah.
So I got us all these wet palettes. We all have wet palettes already, but I was just excited, and so I just was like, I'm gonna get more wet palettes for me, Brett, and Megan. And so
very sweet.
We're using these now. I do think
matching palettes. That's so cute.
Yeah, me, Brett, and Megan all have a different color. I got Brett the dark gray one. Now I do think that this palette is a little bit better for travel. Kat also recommended this palette to me. Typically, if Kat recommends a product, I typically get it.
Gotta get it.
Just to either tell her how awesome it is,
her.
or to tell her how wrong she is about it. One way or the other. It facilitates some fun times. And in this case, she was right. It's cool so far.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'd recommend it. I like that it comes with a squeegee.
Yeah, it's nice.
And this company, Game Envy, I think they're called. They make a lot of interesting. They make a lot of interesting hobby tools. It's one of those companies that makes a lot of things you're kind of like, I didn't know I needed that, which means you probably don't need it, but it's kind of cool that you have it. Like I don't know, like these are like these little rubber things they make that hold your brush. Not super necessary, but it's kind of nice. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't know. They're good gifts for the hobbyist who already has everything.
Including a wet palette.
Including if you already even have a wet palette.
I know. I like it, Zach, and you're so thoughtful. You wanted me to have a cool wet palette, and I appreciate that. It is cool.
You already do. We had the again.
But it doesn't have all the cool like little flaps and storage and a little paint tray. Look at that.
It's got like the gadget vibe going on.
That's right.
Where you're like,
and those are fun.
Yeah. And yeah. I have I talk about this kind of stuff a lot with music, where people my students would get really excited about my adult students, especially like tech companies. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, I've got like this like MIDI keyboard with all these keys and stuff on it, and I've got like running it through this M box and all this stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, you don't actually need any of that to write music, but I'm glad you're enjoying it." Of course, I never said that, right? Yeah. But that's part of what makes a hobby, right? Is like the tools and the gadgets.
All the stuff that comes along with the experience. You should enjoy all of it.
Exactly.
But I probably am going to get rid of my other palette because I like to not have multiples of things.
Not have multiple wet palettes.
Yeah. It drives me crazy when we have our own like workstations, but when I go to Zach's once in a while, I'll clean Zach's desk up for him. Does that count as a gift? I don't know. Did I ever give that to you as a gift? I'll go organize his hobby area for him, which sounds terrible, right? Like, you don't want strange people messing with your setup, or your wife, or somebody who might throw away all the little bits on the floor. But I'm pretty respectful of his space, and I understand the hobby and that you shouldn't mess around too much. I just like to organize, and so I'll organize his space for him every once in a while when it starts driving me nuts. And one thing I make sure to do is consolidate all his paints, because I hate having multiple bottles of things around. I do try to look, because I know Zach sets up his paints to be like, this one is specifically watered down so that I can use it as a wash, and this one I have it's drying out, so I use it for dry brushing. Like, I get that, but like sometimes I'll come across like 4 or 5 Abaddon blacks, and I'm like, all right, these can be consolidated.
Well, and they can, and one of the reasons that happens in the first place is because I also tend to group up paints by project, and so a lot of paints that I use in all my projects. For example, I just bought and opened a new AK Titanium White today. But of course I have 3 or 4 of these open all over the place. And so because I'm working on a lot of projects, because this is my job, so I do tend to willingly open a paint that I already have open somewhere else, so that I can keep it with, my daughter's Arcane, or my Alpha Legion, or my Tau, or my terrain that I'm working on at the time, right?
Yeah.
But you're right. It does get, even for me, it gets a little annoying. And nothing's more annoying than like being like, oh my gosh, where's this color? And then going to another project and finding 2 of them there. And being like, how did that happen?
Why? Yeah. But try not to mess with your stuff too much. But I do like to Marie Kondo a bit.
Well, thank you, Sushi Man Daddy.
Yay! Hi.
What? Happy anniversary. I've been painting old metal and small models lately. How do you feel, skipping steps, painting what feels like limited detail models, and can't paint to my normal standard?
I'm like, I do this all the time. I'm famously lazy. Like, right, Zach? I'm pretty lazy, actually. Which is why I think this bust painting class was pretty good for me. You can't be lazy. You got to go in and work on the same model for a long time. But when I'm painting an army, I'm like, I don't want to sit here and do this forever. I would like to move on. And I definitely skip steps, especially in hordes. What about you?
Yeah, I probably do, but the way I kind of approach it is a little differently. I typically spend the first month or so, or I'm not sure I could even say it's a specific amount of time. When I'm starting a new army, a new project, I typically start trying to figure out what I can skip. And then that becomes the new process. When I did the skin for my daughter's Arcane, there were like 2 layers that were almost sort of being undone by the thing that came after them. And then one day I was like, you know what? Let me see on this like latest batch if I can skip that and what it looks like. Indistinguishable. And I was like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That was a waste.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I didn't come up with that. I saw it online somewhere, and so that happens. I mean, like that.
Right.
But that person maybe is using it in a way that mattered. Like maybe they are doing a bust, or maybe they picked it up from someone who's doing a bust and they didn't think to question it. But whenever I hear a process for painting something, I always like to say, okay, like I try to look it over and use my past experiences and say, what do I think in this process is actually not mattering? Like, oh, they're putting 3 shades of purple after brown, and then they're doing a wash. And I'm like, is that middle shade of purple really gonna matter? Like, so yes, Sushi Man Daddy, I do try to skip steps. I do try to cut my losses on time.
Yeah. Cut your losses. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, but I try to then, I wouldn't say I'm like okay doing it unless I feel like I'm doing it for a good reason.
Yeah, because you're kind of a purist. Like you're very militant about writing your process down.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh no, that yeah.
Militant?
Militant, yeah.
Is that the right word?
I guess I'll take it.
So I'm kind of surprised. But I definitely, like when I painted my fell bats the first time, I did those by hand. I did barely any airbrushing. And then I got another pack later and I was like, ugh, I don't want to do this again. Like, I really hate doing like a set of something and then having to come back to it because I realize I need more. So the second time I did it, I airbrushed a lot more, and I didn't worry so much about some of my, I want to say like my middle steps in between the airbrush and the details, and it looks fine. Like it's the difference is, I don't know, Zach, you looked at it, you said you couldn't really tell the difference. There's definitely a little bit of a difference, but it was okay. I was fine with it.
Yeah, I think if I had to guess, the airbrush ones probably look better.
I don't remember. Maybe. Yeah, probably. Probably smoother at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am deciding to go a little deeper. Just having some spots like I had that were starting to turn metal, I think made it look a little like weird and spotty, because they were spots, so spotty because of the spots. So what I'm doing instead is
Gradient. Oh, Caldorf, that's so cute.
making this.
My daughter says Meg's color gradient is gradient. A soup's in the making. That's so cute.
I know.
Aw. Hi, Caldorf's daughter. What are you working on
Gradient.
besides your excellent punmanship?
Okay. So anyway, yeah, very adorable. I'm trying to sort of make it look a little more obvious. At least I figure if there's one place where it's really obvious what's going on, it makes all the spot areas like, oh, that's what's going on now. Like it makes it more obvious that the metallic spots are going to mean something. Also, I think the like energy I'm going to put in is gonna do that. But I decided to be a little more aggressive with some of the metal up at the top. There's also this kind of interesting component because they're cogs where it's like, well, should I make it such that they're materializing as they spin? And so the materializing is happening in different areas of the cog. And I am trying to do that a little bit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I say when I don't know what else to say.
I know, it's fair. It's a fair point.
I'm thinking about how excited I am to, like, when these videos are done, you know, they have to process and then you can rewatch it with the live chat. And I'm like, ugh, I want to watch chat because I love chat. So I'm looking forward to rewatching this so that I can rewatch chat. I don't know if anyone does that. I assume everyone rewatches to catch the game or whatever happened on the hobby hangout, but I wonder if anybody rewatches purely for chat.
Yeah, because sort of weirdly, you can't. We're going to shoulder here, you Meg.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, you got to paint.
No, you're good. Let me move this though, because it's. There we go.
Yeah, sort of weirdly when you have a YouTube video, it goes up live into a VOD, we call it, right away. But you guys might have known, some of you, that that the actual chat that you guys are doing right now takes like another day or two.
Yeah.
I guess as YouTube searches it, or I don't know.
Gets rid of the Slanesh bots.
Gets rid of, yeah. Which we haven't had yet.
I know. Which is surprising because
I know.
It's our anniversary.
I'm saying
it's
it,
like,
yeah.
I'm like, where are they? I want to find hot singles in my area for our anniversary. I know.
Okay. Oh, more super chats. So let's see.
Yeah.
We got a couple more to read here.
Let's do it.
Thank you, by the way, Sushi Man Daddy.
Yes.
And look, you're not alone. And you know what? This is actually, I will add to that. I will say this is another reason that I like to pull out things like endless spells or like Reaper minis every now and then. Just like paint something up a little bit different. That's like not your mainstream army or like your secondary army, or even like oh hey, I want to do a kill team. Like
Oh, hey.
oh hey ho. Like I want to do a kill team. Like even not stuff like that, but rather just like literally a single model. Just something kind of wild and new to be like, hey, what happens if I don't put as much work into something? You know what I mean? Or what happens if the model is worse, right? And it doesn't quite come out okay. You know, I don't know, kind of an interesting experiment to give yourself. Thank you, Broken Chef.
Hi, Broken Chef. Oh man, I feel like I haven't seen him around in a while.
Yeah, thank you, Broken Chef. Happy anniversary, you two. John is a fiend.
You. Yes.
Sadly, shoulder acting up, so no hobby along with family time trumps it. Well, that's good. Like if your shoulder is hurting you, yeah, have some family time. That's a bummer about your shoulder. Michael Cody, you totally just, that worked, Michael Cody. Very nice.
Oh, thank you, Michael Cody, the best anniversary gift ever.
Thank you, Michael Cody. I looked down, saw that, I was like, oh, man, of course it's Michael Cody.
Were you gonna block him?
Yeah,
that would have been pretty funny.
No, Broken Chef, yeah. Hopefully your shoulder is okay. Take care of that, because this is like your thing now, you know? So make sure you are taking care of yourself. Obviously, you know that. I don't have to tell you that. But thank you for your support as always. And I think we have some Broken Chef on fan stuff today too.
Oh, great.
So, yeah.
When is fan stuff?
And we know this guy. Well, I know this guy. Yeah, you met this guy. Thank you, Hamsterdam.
Hi,
Hey,
Hamsterdam.
Hobby Crew. Happy anniversary. Got my Votan scheme. Dark purple fabrics. Nice. Khaki armor.
Nice.
Chocolate shades and lava power weapons. Going to do neon green accents, screens, visors, and try some freehand. Look, I'm gonna volunteer Bryce in to message on Discord about freehand, because like I said, he's not messing around. I'll be honest, he's quite good at it, and that sounds awesome. Listen,
messing around.
The funny thing is, we were chatting on a Tabletop Titans about potential paint schemes for Votan, and your paint scheme sounds insane, but I understand, having seen the models and the fact that you're specifying fabrics and armor. The fabrics and armor are like 90% of the model, so like that alone is going to be good. And then these other things like the lava power weapons and neon green accents, going to look cool. I like it. I'm a big fan of green and purple together. That's my towel. I think they work well together.
And also khaki, right? So it's almost Mardi Gras.
It is almost a Mardi Gras thing.
It's going to be fun.
Which is, I'm excited to see this. I'm excited to start seeing Votan armies in general pop out. It's been a little while since a whole new army has been introduced into 40K. Arguably, we would say Adeptus Mechanicus, I guess, was the last kind of new army added. I remember when that happened. And before that, I believe it was actually Tau. So, and that's like 20 years ago. So, it's been a little while. Kind of interesting.
It's been a while.
Yeah, kind of interesting. I do love space dwarves. I do love dwarves. And
who doesn't?
You know, Votan is something I can imagine myself doing one day down the road. I just had to abandon the mental bandwidth when it started coming out. I could not bring myself to do it. And you know, I have to, you know, I've been saying Gene Stealer caught?
Oh, okay.
Oh, GSC, you're right. Thank you. That was the latest. So before GSC was Adeptus Mechanicus, I think, and then most recently, or before that, Tau. Yeah, GSC. Thank you. Totally forgot, Bryce. Before that, Necrons.
Also Graham Kirkpatrick.
Yeah, thank you, Graham. Bryce.
Yeah, don't forget.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I like the Votan line. I've been a little critical of it, just not in a way where I'm like saying like they didn't do a good job. I think they did. More so in a way where I'm like, it wasn't quite what I was like stoked for. which like, look, I'm a Tau player. I was stoked for it to be Demir. I was excited for, like, I guess they have sort of alluded to some element of relationship with the Tau, but that's sort of what I was interested in, because I'm not even saying it just as a Tau player. I think we all want to see like this 40k Grand Alliance thing that they've like done a little bit of, right? Like with Tyranids and Genestealer Cults and all the different space elves. I want to see like starting to be a true Tau Empire. Like there's 3 or 4 books that have the Tau Empire keyword, like there are with the Imperium. And I feel like it was a little bit of a lost cause, and I feel not a lost cause, a missed opportunity. And I feel like instead they did what they've been doing, which is like make something that's either Imperium or very close to being Imperium, right? So, I it's fine. I think it's going to be super cool, and we'll see where it goes. And there's still space for like a Tau Empire thing because there's still Kroot and like a billion other races that are in the Tau, and they've proven that they're interested in being like, hey, out of nowhere, here's something nobody asked for, So it's kind of exciting. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's Votan?
Votan is the new army that's coming out.
Okay.
They are
you've talked about
they're very
this.
much kind of like dwarves.
Okay.
Based off like the sci-fi version of dwarves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you've talked about that. They sound cool. But it was funny, like you were going into such detail, and it reminded me of some meme someone shared in the memes channel with like, I don't know, this girl giving her boyfriend an entry to talk Warhammer lore, and then she like immediately regrets it.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I'm not making fun of you, I promise. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you hurt my feelings.
No, it's fine. Yeah, they're the new space dwarves.
Yeah, I'm excited. I hope Bridger plays them and dresses up like a little space dwarf. What would that look like? Like, what's different about a space dwarf from an actual dwarf? Or
well,
fantasy
we're all
dwarf?
about to find out for sure if in more ways than one, I'm sure.
Being a little coy, are we?
Thank you, Caldor. You two have a mystical, magical anniversary. All the best.
Yay.
Thank you, Caldor.
Thanks, Caldorf.
I know now, like Brett is also pointing out that Knights, both Imperial and Chaos Knights have come out. Okay.
Yep,
It's true.
yep,
A lot of
yep,
armies have come out. That said, I think Votan are kind of crazy because actually Votan are probably special in that it hasn't been since Tau. That's something we haven't really previously heard of has come out, right? Like Knights and Adeptus Mechanicus. Mechanicus was in Forge World for 30K for a minute before it started to come out for 40K. It's been a while since something totally new that was like, hey, did you guys know this existed? No, because we just made it up. That hasn't really happened too recently.
That's true.
So kind of fun.
I really would like to see an army of all unicorns, of course. Oops, all unicorns, like oops, all dragons.
Yeah, all unicorn army in 40K might not happen.
Probably not. Maybe AOS, maybe. No, it won't.
More likely.
More likely. Okay, the other thing I thought would be cool, like I really wish they would incorporate unicorns more, as in like more than nothing. It'd be cool if like there was a generic unicorn strat that could work for all armies, but the models you buy are based on the army you play.
Oh yeah, you were talking about this.
Yeah, like that would be cool. I don't know, why not?
Yeah, like.
Tell me it's cool.
Almost like endless spells, but endless unicorns.
Exactly, endless unicorns.
Everybody gets a different unicorn that matches their army theme.
Yes, that's what I want.
It'd be cool.
That's not a lot to ask. Come on, guys.
It's not. I doubt they'll do it though.
I know. Oh well, it's all right. I know. Then I'd have to give you. I'd be like, okay, I'm done with Soul Blight. I'm gonna paint unicorns now. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm gonna try this kind of like lightning edge, energy edge here now. And what I'm doing to make it is I'm mixing the red I used, which is Nebula Red, and I am mixing it with the lightest metal that I used, which is AK aluminum. And I'm gonna see, that way it's got like a little bit of metallicness to it. And we're gonna see if this looks good or not. This is a bit of a test here. Thank you, Lazy Turtle 76. Hey everyone, it was so good meeting you guys at Nova. Thank you, Zach, for checking out the Siege battle in the Grand Narrative Room for AOS. We had an awesome game. Yes, that was quite crazy. Bridger and I walked over and took a look at what they were doing over at the AOS narrative. And wowie wow, it was quite cool. I will say this, I will say this, Lazy Turtle. The first thing that came to my mind and the first thing I said to Bridger as we were leaving the room was, these guys are going to be here all night. Because it was like 6 p.m. or 5, maybe not even that late. It was like maybe like 4 p.m. or something. And these guys had like what looked like, I'm going to speculatively guess, maybe 30,000 points of AOS on the table.
What?
And
30?
Yeah.
1,000?
Honestly,
Holy
like
moly.
I'm thinking about it.
On one table. How big was this table?
Oh, it was huge.
Was it a picnic table?
No, I mean it was like
No, bigger than a
it
picnic
was like
table.
10 normal tables
What?
together, and there's a big wall down the middle, and they were like
Holy
fighting over it.
moly.
It looked super cool. And
That sounds exhausting.
yeah, it looked amazing. And oh man, the terrain and the terrain in Nova in general was pretty cool. Yeah. I don't know if any of you guys got.
I mean, I got to see some of it, but I don't have like a good frame. I guess I have your terrain as a frame of reference.
Yeah,
right?
I don't have a good frame.
So like,
Never really seen good terrain.
I'm like, no one's as good as Zach's, so
thanks,
it's
Meg, but
fine.
I'm
not just saying that.
The Lord of the Rings train was crazy. If anyone got a chance to look at that.
I didn't get to. Did you get any pictures?
We did.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah, the Lord of the Rings train was crazy good. I'm realizing this is not working, and it's because this Nebula Red's coverage is so thin. So I'm just going to use pink, which I think is going to actually work.
Maybe start with white and then add, or your lightest, and then add thinner streaks of the darker colors, right? Is that what you're doing? Are you doing like a lightning bolt that's like gonna have darker colors as you work your way in?
Isn't
not
it
really doing it
darker
right.
colors on the outside, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never painted one. Sure.
I think I'm going to do darker
You're like, I'm not going to listen to you because you don't even know what you're talking about. The edge highlighting class I took was really helpful. It helped me think about like how to think about building the color in and out.
Oh, yeah.
The contrast.
The classes you've been taking are so, like, I do want to take some classes
You
because
should. They're fun.
you walk out of these things and sometimes you just take one nugget, but it's so valuable.
Yeah, and I did try to relay to you the stuff that I learned. Like after every class, I was like, look, Zach, look what I made. And then I'd tell you about the process and you're like, oh, I'm going to use that. But I feel like it would be so beneficial for you to actually practice it, like be there and hear what they have to say and go through the motions yourself. Because something's always lost, right, when you're explaining something. But yeah, I've always told you, like, I would love to go back to school with you. I'd love to go take a class with you and just see what classroom Zach is like. So,
Yeah.
So we should do that.
Classroom Zach.
He probably, has like a spitball launcher and backwards cap. I picture that being you, Zach.
Yeah,
in
that
class.
is what I would do now. That's definitely what I would do.
Heckling, you would do like real heckling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
No. I can't.
I was in the middle of answering your super chat.
I'm so sorry.
No, we both
What were we saying?
Yeah, the narrative stuff was
Oh, yeah.
crazy Yeah, AOS narrative definitely piques my interest. I will definitely have to do it at some point.
We did this weekend.
Oh yeah, we did.
We did have a narrative event.
I mean, it was still pretty. It still had some serious competitiveness to it.
know.
I mean, it was pretty much match play. You and
Okay.
you and Bridger made up some very interesting and good missions.
Yes.
That were like match play with like this little cute element of like birthday narrative stuff going on for a bunch of us to play through. John, man, we created an AOS monster, and that didn't take long.
Of course.
Yeah, we should have known.
Shouldn't have ever.
We should have at least kept it from him a little while longer.
Yeah, you should wait for him to have to be on stream to play it and make him learn then. It's only fair.
Yeah,
He's too good. He's too good.
Yeah, he's going to be...
Where is he? Yeah, smell you later, losers. That's Zach at school. So right. What would he be carving into the desks? Like, what would Zach carve? What would his calling card be at school?
I heard like a heart with thorn oak and shield.
Yeah, something like that. Narrative event was cool. I wish I could have seen it.
And just man, there was so much crazy good terrain at LVO, or excuse me, at Nova. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the Nova people get really mad if you call them LVO.
Oh, I bet they can't stand it.
Thank you, Lazy Turtle.
Yeah, thank you.
And thanks for showing up and checking us out. And thank you, Ogre Barbarian. Good to hear from you. Hey, Titan. So I don't really do the Zenithal priming, but I do dry brush on a medium gray and a white over black primer to get the same basic effect, and then use contrast paints over that. So he's like dry brush. Oh, I see. So he's like basically doing kind of the same thing with dry brush.
Yeah.
Which is like
Same thing.
Which is kind of an interesting, like that's not the first time you can accomplish something with dry brushing that you normally would think of with doing with an airbrush. Certainly like glow effects like around eyes. Mm-hmm. Typically I do with dry brushing. Mm-hmm. As opposed to like trying to get in there with an airbrush.
Yeah, it's a little more precise.
Right. So I guess that makes total sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a different look, right? Like dry brushing gives you more of like a dust. It can give you more of like a dusty look, which I kind of liked. I did it with my Tyranids, not in this order that you're talking about, Ogre Barbarian, but I liked how that looked. I thought it made them look like grimier and kind of grittier, which is a look I kind of like. I know it's not really your thing, Zach, but and it's quick, and it doesn't require you to buy an airbrush, which I think is not a bad way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and certainly probably at the time we didn't have one.
Right. Yeah. They're an investment. I mean, not everybody has that option at the moment, right?
Yeah. Very true. They're good, but when you can. Okay. Getting this lightning streak kind of going here. Ooh, there's a lot to do. I might just do the front today.
Right? It's hard to get it all done especially when you're being you're really concerned with selling something. Like you want to take your time and
yeah, we don't want to like be like, hey guys, here's this cool thing we learned and it looks awful.
Right.
So I might just focus on the front here today.
I have more smoothing to do towards the back, and I'll get to it eventually. I think I'm gonna, like you said, like pull my way towards the front now and just see how far I can take it. I definitely won't be done by today, but I should have this side at a pretty good state. What do you?
It looks pretty.
Laughing?
It looks amazing. Here,
thanks.
let's do a little.
It's all right.
Let's do a little check-in on it.
It's okay. I mean, there's some sloppy brush marks, right? Like, because I'm just trying to figure out like where the color should lay, and I'll work out from there. And it's always so tempting to like, oh, now I'm in this section, I want to switch to another color, and then I lose my train of thought. Like that's kind of what I'm facing right now. So I'm trying to like refocus myself and get through these different steps.
I see. So what I'm doing now is I added a little bit of white to the pink, and I'm doing like a layer of energy now that's like a little closer to the metal. And next, I'm going to do the white. This metal. This is kind of fun though.
Good. I'm glad you're having a good time with this goofy technique. I would love to take one of these like long form classes with you at some point.
Yeah, I really should. It's so fun to just go and have a big letdown though at a GT.
But like let somebody like else take the reins and you're just there absorbing like, oh my gosh. But then again, you know, you guys like playing. I would be so stressed out if I had to play 9 games in a weekend. Holy moly. Or one. Even one would stress me out.
I didn't. I only had to play 5.
That's true. That's true. Who had? Not Adrian had to play 9.
Adrian had to play 9.
Because the punishment fits the crime for winning, I guess.
Yeah, Adrian had to play 9. I'd be cool with 9. I'd certainly be willing to give it a try. But yeah, I don't know.
It's very demanding on your body. Especially the older we get, right, Zach?
Yeah.
Zach, how old are you turning this year? It's very special.
I am turning 40 in 7
Turning
days.
40.
In 7 days, yeah.
40.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It is demanding. I have to say though, I haven't actually found that to be true. So I'm lying when I say it's demanding on your body. I don't know. Maybe
I feel like the standing. But do you wear good shoes?
Yeah, I guess so. I wear good shoes.
Gotta wear good
Drink
shoes.
a lot of water. I tend to avoid gamer food. So I'm not eating like the chicken fingers and the crappy hot dogs and the gross food that they give. And I tend to eat like fruit from a hotel or whatever. I really don't like when I travel and I'm doing things all day, I really don't like to be like, cool, what will happen if I just have these hotel chicken fingers in my body? I'm kind of like not into that. So avoiding the gross food is big, I think.
Okay.
Getting a lot of sleep.
Yes.
I like to have...
Which we weren't able to really do this time.
As we know from a previous Hobby Titans, I do like to have a cocktail and a drink every now and then. I really don't really do that when I'm at these events. I don't like to like drink all night the night before and go crazy. So getting a lot of sleep, I don't know. I tend to not. They're tiring in my body. Like, yeah, you're right. After a few days, I know some people are like, oh, right away. Like, oh man, I can't do that standing all day. I haven't had that yet.
Yeah,
that's
good.
Maybe I haven't had been at like a bad venue yet though. I think SoCal is not the best venue.
No, it's all concrete. Right. It's rough. Like I even just walking around for a little bit, I was like, okay, I'm tired. Like I can't do this. I don't know how these guys are doing this all day, but you know, they have chairs, so that helps. But did I derail somebody's super chat again? I don't even know. Sometimes I go off on weird tangents.
Thank you, Broken Chef, again, so much.
Hi, Broken Chef.
Silver armor, deep blue with hints of pale green at the tip. Third color is a mystery, and not sure if I go warm or keep it cool. John is still a fiend. Broken Chef, if you're around, what is this for that you're painting? Broken Chef, yeah, what is this that you're painting? If you're still there.
Let's zoom in on you for a second, because I'm going to be doing something really quick that's not very interesting.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, Broken Chef, let me know what it is that you're painting, because I have no idea. I don't know how I missed this. Okay, so I'm still just doing a little bit of pink energy here around where the cog is coming into reality. That's the look we're going for here. I said I was only going to do one side, but then I kind of lied and started doing the other side. And finally, we're gonna get a little bit of white. Almost white, just super light pink. Actually, yeah, white. I'll put this on the glam cam in a second. Here, actually, I'll put it on the glam cam right now. You guys can kind of see what it is I'm going for. Here, I'm gonna turn it this way. This will need a lot of cleanup, but this is sort of how it's coming out.
Oh yeah. Oh, that looks so nice. I'm gonna get up and look at it. Oh yeah, it looks like it's coming out of the magic.
The pink, yeah.
Yeah,
We'll have
looks
to
great.
definitely do a lot of cleanup on this. This is the type of thing you can just like go back and forth and like do cleanup. Oh, Sacristant. Oh, Stormcast. Oh yeah, this will be super cool. Let me look at this color scheme again, actually. Okay, Broken
See, yeah,
Chef.
let's look at this.
Broken Chef says silver armor. Yep, deep blue
Yeah.
with hints of pale green at the tip.
Okay.
Third color is a mystery. Not sure if I go warm or keep it cool. I would keep it cool.
Okay, here's
Would you
my
go warm?
take.
Yeah, what
I
would you
would.
do?
I like to do like contrasts where like the shadows might be cool or warm, and then your highlights are the opposite. I think it really like enhances the contrast between the two. So my vote is warm.
Warm. Okay.
It's really like up to you, right?
What warm would you do?
For blue and green, probably like maybe like a reddish brown or something might be like the area of the color wheel I'd be interested in.
Interesting.
Because red mixes well with green, and you get like a nice natural black that way. So, because they're opposites, anything that's an opposite on a color wheel, you mix it, you get this like strong neutral. And you can tint it either way by adding more of one color over the other. So that's kind of how I would approach it. Not necessarily like red and green, but like something with a reddish warmness to it, I think might be how I do it.
Okay.
But you want to go cool.
Yeah, I would do. Okay, well, he said like blue and greens. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you actually the other color I love with blue and green is yellow. Mm-hmm. So yellow could be cool.
Yellow's tough as a shadow though. Is he talking about shades for the third color?
I don't know.
I guess because I assumed since Broken Chef was talking about like the like the high metallics, like the.
Oh, I see.
So that I was assuming that the third color would be a shadow, but.
Yeah, maybe I
Anyway.
misunderstood that.
No, maybe I misunderstood it.
Broken Chef. Yeah, is the third color just like an accent color or?
Either way, I'm going to say warm, because I think when you have those contrasts, it just helps things pop. But I don't think there's a wrong answer here. It's all opinion.
Yeah.
I guess that's understood.
I think that yeah. But that's okay. Broken Chef. No, just like a glow color. Oh, glow color. Then. Yeah, yellow.
Oh yeah, I'd go warm then.
I pick yellow. Yeah, which is warm. So I changed my answer. Warm, yellow. Thank you, Broken Chef, as always. Good luck. Post pictures. Excited.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. Where are you going?
I was going to say, Broken Chef's been asking about Smaug in the comments.
Oh yeah,
and he's asked so many super chats. I kind of want to honor it.
Yeah. Actually, there's a Smaug meeting today.
There was. We are talking about it.
His own meeting.
Yes.
There's a meeting devoted purely to Smaug.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm not a Titan. I don't know if you guys knew this. I'm not actually a Titan. I'm just married to one. And I'm a guest. So, I'm definitely coming back to paint Smaug. No question there. But I have a full-time job, and I have other things in my life that are pulling me in different directions. So it's not the kind of thing I can manage here and schedule. And, this is for the team to schedule out and make sure it works with their schedule and whatever new content they have coming out for you guys. So we did have a meeting today where Kat and I and Lindsay all talked about when we should start planning it, like when we should start working on it. So keep your eye on the channel. We're talking about later in the fall, early winter will probably be when we all have the bandwidth for it, because there's a lot of stuff going on here. But yeah, we are working on Smaug. We're figuring it out how it will fit into the schedule, and how we want to break it up. Some parts are not not good for TV, like cleaning it, scraping away, boogers, like plastic resin boogers. Yeah. Like, so there's some planning that has to happen before it makes it onto the channel, but it will make it onto the channel. He's too important not to.
Yeah. So very, very excited for Smaug stuff. Okay, let's see. We do have some more super chats here.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Jason Burke. We know this guy.
Yes,
Yeah,
Jason.
a big Jason Burke wishing us a happy anniversary
Thank
from
you,
Valerie and
Jason.
Jason. We know Valerie and Jason.
Yes, I work with Valerie.
Yeah, and we are two couples collectively very into the show Severance.
Oh my gosh, yes.
On Apple TV Plus, which you should all subscribe to.
At least get the free trial so you can watch Severance.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Pretty great show.
They've got a lot of good shows, actually. I wasn't too impressed by their first round of offerings, but I feel like the shows have gotten better since.
Yeah. So very very big thank you,
Yeah.
Jason and Valerie.
And Jason has his own podcast.
Oh, that's right.
It's called Hemispheric Views. He and his friends from Australia, I believe it's friends from Australia. I think they're two Australians. I forget. Talk about topics that are of interest to both, all parties, and kind of like the take from each hemisphere on said topic.
Okay.
Yeah. And so at some point, he's definitely going to be a guest on our podcast. I told him to pick a horror movie that he likes.
Not Quite Dead.
Yeah,
podcast.
next year we want to just do ghosts all year.
Oh, fun. I love ghosts.
Yeah, and I told him pick a ghost story, pick a ghost movie that you want to do, and you'll be on. We'll have you. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Jason, and thank you, Val.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael. Cody. Oh, thank you, Ty. Oh my God, I almost missed another Ty.
Zach.
Oh my God, why? What is? Sorry, Ty. Thank you, Ty. Happy anniversary, you hobby power couple. Did Nova inspire you to get into any new projects or revisit old ones?
Oh my gosh.
Yes, for me, it hecka did. Because
sad story.
Sad story?
Oh, never mind. I thought you were going a different direction.
We played
we don't finish each other's sentences.
Yeah. We played Big Aeronautica, which was this awesome event that a number of Titans got together. Digital designer, Brett, Sarah, Melody,
Kirkanos,
yeah, just a ton of people got this together.
Big community endeavor.
Yeah, super awesome to play. It was funny. I think Adrian was the one that pointed out we kept calling it Full Scale Aeronautica, and Brett was like, I take some issue with the term Full Scale Aeronautica.
Of course, Brett would.
We're like, you know what?
He's right.
He's right, though.
He
He's
is
right. Okay, 40K scale.
You know what we mean.
40K scale Aeronautica. It was super cool, and it really made me miss playing Aeronautica.
Yeah, we used to do that.
Yeah, we used to play a lot during COVID. So I got really excited. I went down and I bought all of the Necron line. Well, there's only 2 models actually, and I only got one of them because they didn't have the bomber. I got 6 of the new Necron Doom Scythe Night Scythe kit, and put them together. I know how I'm going to paint them up using kind of what you've learned from your other Nova class, the metallic
The metallics one.
Really excited to do like these undercoats and then metallic over top of it. So yes, it made me realize that I miss Aeronautica. I love Aeronautica. Very excited to get Aeronautica going again. And waiting to be seeing Aeronautica on the channel soon. So along with some other skirmish games. So we're excited. But yeah. What about you, Ty? Wait, did you go to Nova, Ty? No, you did not go to. I would have met you.
No, we would have known.
I think also, Ty, you're in England? No? Tell me, please, if you know. If you know where you are. If you know if you're in England or not, Ty, please.
Tell us where you are, Ty.
No, don't tell us.
Are you okay?
Yeah, are you okay? Or at least I hope I would have met you if you were in Nova.
Maybe he saw you and took one look and ran the other way.
It's just like, nah, actually, I'm good.
I'm not into this guy.
Thank you, Michael Cody. Have an anniversary so good that your takes are hotter than the sun and your unicorns as endless as the stars.
Aww.
Oh, that's actually pretty nice.
That's very sweet.
That is very sweet. Thank you, Michael Cody, as
Yeah.
always. Your Slanesh, fake Slanesh bot thing was pretty funny.
Oh, I just loved it.
I kind of want to, I'd be very curious if Michael Cody could get himself accidentally kicked out by New York. Okay.
Okay.
Ties in New York. If Michael Cody could get himself accidentally kicked out at a tight ends game for doing that. Like,
Are we boring you, Zach?
no, I'm just, no, it was up early. I mean, not really, but.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, let's get a zoom on how this is coming out.
You were saying, what's our time check? How are we doing?
We'll move on to fan stuff pretty soon here.
Oh, I meant for me.
Oh yeah,
Like, how much time do I have?
Look, we knew we probably wouldn't get this finished.
I mean, I had high hopes, but
Yeah.
but yeah,
It's looking pretty great though.
I'm glad you think so.
Yeah, and I have a lot of cleanup to do on mine, and I need to do. I've reached the point every now and then, depending on what we endeavor to do here on the stream.
Yeah.
Every now and then, I will say I'm gonna pass this to Megan, and I'm gonna tell you guys I don't think it looks good, but I'm okay because I know it will.
Oh yeah,
And-
this is like that stage in the process where
Yeah,
you don't
we
actually
always
want to show anybody.
we always get to this point where in a little bit. So here's one of the things I actually think that I'm gonna need to do, or I might do, and I'm gonna have to be super careful. I'm gonna go in with the Sotar pink and go and do a little bit of pink right wherever the pink border is. I might,
I
but
just love it.
yeah, it will be good. But I'm at the point where like I need to be totally hunched over a light.
Yeah.
And this happens sometimes
That's hard
during the
to do
hobby
here.
stream when we endeavor to do things like this. We get to points where we're like, oh gosh, like I what I need to move to, you guys might have noticed, I also like get a little quieter, and I'm not
Yeah.
like as like excited to tell different stories because I'm like, oh, this is like I've gone to the very serious part of
Yeah.
this model now, and this is not something I can go on autopilot on because I haven't done it before. So
That's
that
true.
happens. You will see this thing on stream in the coming months. I can guarantee that. Oh, by the way, in case you guys didn't notice, I'll put it on the glam cam one more time. In case you guys didn't notice, you can see that its color palette is going to match my Daughters of Cain. So we're
sneaky.
kind of painting the different endless spells. You get into a little dilemma here where you're like, ooh, what do I base these things as, right? Some people have one army and it's easy, or they're like, ooh, that endless spell goes with that army or makes sense with that army. Chronomatic Cogs are great for any wizard other than Belladama, who already rerolls all of her casts. And pretty much that's what Chronomatic Cogs do, is help turn a wizard into as good of a wizard as Belladama. We are kind of basing some of the different ones, or I'm trying to be like, you know what, we're going to base this to match an army. Doesn't necessarily mean we're always going to use it with that army, but why not? And, you know, Daughters are what I'm playing competitively, and I may take these cogs competitively, so I feel like it was the right decision. Meg's, on the other hand, I'm going to switch back to the shoulder view here.
I don't know whose army this goes with.
Meg's,
to be
on the
honest
other
with
hand,
you.
we're going to base it to match our
Nerf guns.
Nerf guns, our destruction armies. All of our destruction armies are based the same. The Beastclaw Raiders of mine just have more snow than the Gargants. So it's kind of like a gray with a little bit of snow on it type thing. And that's the plan with this destruction, because this looks like a spell that a destruction force
I mean,
would
look at
cast.
his giant teeth.
Right.
I feel like I didn't answer the last question.
No, we were in the middle of it.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to forget because I forget things.
Wait, it was just Michael Cody. about
No,
unicorns.
somebody was asking about inspired to do projects at Nova, and I didn't
Oh, yeah.
actually answer that.
Were you, Meg?
Kind of. So I really, really want to get through my Soulblight army because I bought myself a bunch of busts and one-off models that I just feel like painting. Like,
Yeah.
that's fun for me. I'm realizing, like, I actually enjoy this. Like, like more so like Kat, like spending a long time on a model to make it look cool and like play around with new ideas. And when I'm, I feel pressured when I'm working on an army.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to wrap that up and get started on some of these resin, 3D printed projects I bought off Etsy.
Yeah, just like one-offs, right?
Yeah.
It's true. Armies can be a little overwhelming. I know what you're talking about. For me, I'm always kind of going back and forth between different army projects and terrain. I'm working on like 2 terrain boards right now. One of them is about to be finished. Actually, both of them are insanely close to being finished. So there's that.
Insane.
But yeah, so like maybe tomorrow or Friday.
Oh, that is insane.
So yeah, very insane. Very insane. So yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. It is nice to like come do the one-off things.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay. Let's see. We've got a couple more here. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Orc Zach. Happy anniversary, Titans.
Thank you.
Long time no wah. Glad to have you guys back in the studio. About to start my first venture into dioramas. Wish me luck.
Fun.
That is fun. Yeah.
I'm excited to make a diorama. So I don't play,
Yeah.
but I am going to loan my army to people who play and make a diorama for it. Because that's fun to me. Like, I want to win those contests.
Yeah.
The painting contests and dioramas and stuff. So
It's funny how
I'm excited to see your diorama in hobby chat.
my
Not you.
Orc Zach. Sorry. Yeah, me.
Orc Zach, not
Not
Zach.
Zach. Yeah. Me as well. And obviously post pics. Orc Zach. This is like a cat a little bit, but we have a friend of the studio named Seth, who has been helpful for all of us in the area, who's like a big diorama guy. And yeah, I know we want to do display boards.
Yeah.
I will say kind of cool that the past 2 events I've gone to, and I like this actually, the past 2 events I've gone to have had painting that sort of addresses display boards. At Old Town Throwdown in Irvine, they just didn't allow them. And here at Nova, they scored you out of 40 possible points, but you could only max out at 30. And they had the display board kind of wrapped up in I think like 6 or 8 points. So if you had no display board, you could still max out your points, in other words.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Likewise,
Right.
if you
you
had
didn't
no
have to have the display board.
Right. Likewise, if you had no freehand, you could still max out. If you had no conversions, you could still max out. I did not take my display board to Nova.
Yeah.
Because I probably can't really.
Yeah, the flight.
Yeah. So I got 0 on that, and I really don't have any conversions in my army, and I have almost no freehand. So all of those together add up, but that's fair, of course, right? But it is kind of nice where if like you don't do one of these things, like, oh, your army's beautiful, you didn't do any freehand, that's okay, right? Like you didn't go in and like freehand
Right.
paint the banners or whatever.
Not everyone knows how to do everything.
Not everyone knows how to do all the things, right? Yeah. So I actually do kind of like that system. That said, I do want to build a super cool
Yeah,
display
because they're
board.
fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's fun to have like a cool setting to put your army on, tie
Yeah.
them together, and
Oh, can you
show 'em
move
off.
just a little?
Sorry.
Yeah. This is already coming out
you
super
know,
cool.
not sorry, but
It's actually it's interesting because you moved from one. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
I just made it worse. Yeah.
You moved from
Gosh.
like wait, where's my? Is that my hand?
Yep,
You
that's
moved,
your
You
hand.
moved from like
Hi.
here to like up here.
Yep.
But now there it is. Perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you again, Liberty Fires, as always.
Aw.
Meg, I found myself scared of finishing my Black Templar army because of what I learned from Devin.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
yeah.
thinking of starting a new army using what I learned. Not sure if you feel similar with the Soul Blight.
No. No way. I feel like, no, I don't. I'm fine with how my Soul Blight are coming out. But I was working on a Vampiric Lord. What was I working on? I think I was working on a Vampiric Lord, and I was using some of the palette tips to like shade elements of it. And I was like, I don't need to go back and do my whole army like this. What's nice about my army is that there's a lot of one-off characters. So they can look a little different and still look united. So I can kind of get away with that. I would never strip my army and start over. Oh my gosh. Yeah. If you look at my Tyranid army that I played a few years ago, you can see the process of my like painting getting better when you look at like my older models versus and I you know, I saw my newer models and I'm just like, I cannot fathom going back and painting all of those
like
GD Termagants again. Like, oh my god, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, they look gummy and weird. I don't care. But you know, I'm not a serious player, so I get it if you feel the need to do it.
Yeah.
But no, I do not.
I don't know that I would ever again. I think my Tau have gone to a level where I would never strip them again at this point. Like if I become a much better painter over the years from where my Tau are, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That hopefully does happen and should be happening. But I'd be okay with them, right? But it did take up until now, because before that I wouldn't have, honestly.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Siege Roots.
And there's so many other like cool models that I want to paint.
I know.
I'm like, I'm not gonna go back and paint this again. Okay, sorry.
No, fair enough. Thanks again, Siege Roots. Zach, I was able to find a wolf pelt, Ragnar Blackmane. Not about to buy 50 of them, but it worked for my Lieutenant Emperor's Spears kit bash. Yeah, I think that's like the big problem, Siege Roots, is that you're asking for these wolf pelts. I really do think you're gonna have to hunt down third party. Or try green stuff, because otherwise you're going to have to buy 50 Ragnar Blackmanes or 50 Frost Lords. I just don't know anywhere where you can just consistently get like a wolf pelt or like an animal pelt. Especially like there's a lot of the Sigmar Warcry bands are like very chaosy and kind of caveman looking, but they're like, I don't know that you're gonna like really extract pelts from the model, right? Honestly, another thought I had, Siege Roots, is reach out to somebody that makes stuff 3D printed. I mean, if it's worth that for you, push mold, like Bryce's suggestion for a push mold is not bad, but also reaching out to somebody who will maybe design something for you. It's going to cost more, but it will help you get exactly what you want, I think. I feel for you to have this like cool idea and be like, I don't know how I'm going to do this because the model doesn't exist. He's trying to build Space Marines with like huge wolf pelts all over him, and so he needs to find wolf pelts. And you know, you can find some on.
I would imagine Etsy would have something, but I've also tried looking for things on Etsy and come up with nothing.
Yeah,
so
it can go both ways.
You could probably find a way to like make a mold of the fur pattern like on a dire wolf or something, right?
Right.
And then just make more fur out of that and cut it up weird or whatever. Like that might be how I would go about it if I was serious about wanting pelts. Doesn't Radikar have like, he kind of has like a hanging pelt you could like probably press.
Right, like Vikros Dynasty stuff, they all, they all have it.
They have things you could probably tinker with, kit bash from.
Graham says...
although I don't know what the rules are on like making a mold from a part of a GW model. Like,
I think it's fine.
Okay. Yeah. That might be
to
what
be
I would try.
torn illegal. Graham says Space Wolf players have them. Siege Roots, I have to imagine you've looked into that already. But Fenrisian Wolves, like just do the press, the mold press. Bryce had brought that up.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I think you could cut strips on green stuff. I made a pelt for a Frost Lord because I cut him a little bit differently, and that's how I did it. I pressed into the one of the Mornfangs that they're on or something, or the Stonehorn, and it works pretty well. And then what I had to do then is also cut little strips of green stuff. Here, actually, look. Let's see if I can. Do I have this guy?
I don't know.
Let me see. Sorry, Meg. I have you back in the shoulder zoom. Let me.
Okay.
So you can see. And then we get to some fan stuff.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
nice.
this is looking good.
What is?
Your dude.
Oh, well that's good. Well now he's gone. But I guess you guys can still hear him. What should we say about him? Zach. We already talked about how we met. When I knew I fell in love with you. I don't know. I don't have any good stories right now.
I'm still here.
Yeah, but you're not here. You know, if we talk low enough, oh, here he comes. Missed our chance.
Okay, I'll show you guys. And actually, Brett helped me with this, talking through this. So I'll show you where I did fur. It wasn't for a pelt, actually. I remember now. So the problem is I have like so many stone horns, and they all tilt their head to the side like this. And I had about one too many stone horns. I was like, I'm tired of them all having their head tilted the same way. So I wanted one that was looking forward more. And so this area right here, the head is designed that way. Some Tyranids do this too. Oh no, Tyranids don't do this. Tyranids have like a ball joint. This thing has like a very specific shape that slots right in. So to get this guy to have his head going straight, I had to, this one right here, this was all green stuffed fur. And the way I did it was, I did do a little bit of pressing, but then I also literally just cut like strips out in the fur shape, like in little triangles, and made it that way. Funny, when I haven't played with these guys for a while, when I went over and picked this guy up off of the shelf here at the studio, I picked him up and he just was like not on his base. He just like came right off his base like that. Funny story, right?
Hilarious.
Hilarious. Just like right up.
Yes, very humorous.
Very humorous. Thank you, Liberty Fires. Meg, top 3 surprising things about DC / Northern Virginia. I think here he's talking about not necessarily the event Nova,
Not
but
the event. Okay.
Yeah.
Surprising?
Yeah, because you've been to
I've been
the
there
East Coast before, but not very DC.
I've been to DC.
I
I mean,
guess
as a
so.
tourist, I've been to DC.
Well, then, even still, the first time
Yeah.
you went out to this. Insects, bugs?
Yeah. I always forget about the bugs on the East Coast. Just not used to it. You know, Zach and I live in California. The weather's pretty nice, pretty dry comparatively.
Yeah.
And we'll go sit on our patio every once in a while and like get one bug bite. And I'm like, ugh, the bugs are so terrible. You can't sit outside on the East Coast. Like, I mean, I would throw on bug spray and everything, but you just get eaten alive.
Wildlife is like the
It exists.
in like California climate, wildlife exists, but like the climate doesn't change too much from one season to the next. It does.
Right. We have stink bugs now.
We have stuff year
Not that bad.
round, and it doesn't change too much. And the areas are
spoiled.
The other thing, Liberty Fires. No, there are bugs in California, but the thing is that like the environment's different, and I would just say that like on the East Coast, you're more woven into the environment. Like here's your apartment complex, and there's your parking lot, and then there's a little forest, and then then there's a stream going through the forest, and there's another little forest, and there's a parking lot, and then there's like a Dick's Sporting Goods, right?
Yeah, I whenever I visit, I always feel like I can't tell if this is less developed or more developed than what I'm used to. It's weird. Like you're intermingled with the wilderness.
And that parking lot may also have a few trees. In California, you take that same thing and it's like, here's your apartment complex, here's the parking lot, here's a wall. On the other side of that wall is another parking lot.
Right,
There's a
it's
Safeway.
very like urban and developed.
Until all of a sudden it isn't.
Then it's like, oh, I'm in the nature.
Right.
Nature is its own thing.
Nature, in the West Coast, especially like California, it feels maybe a little bit more like what I'm describing.
At least where we live.
Yeah.
I'm sure the whole state is not the same, but where we live, that's kind of what the experience is with the environment.
Yeah, the
So yeah, it's buggy.
yeah, more bugs.
More bugs.
I'm not trying to answer for you, but I think
No, that's
that
a
is
good
something
one.
I've
I
observed
appreciate you helping me because I'm like, I don't know, I've been there so many times now.
And also, I mean, just like in the houses and stuff, like I know you're always a little weirded out by like my family's relationships with bugs in the houses. It's just like there's just bugs in the house.
No, okay, maybe, but
Yeah.
no, because you and I have also started living with like an open door policy. We leave our porch open 100% of the time because we have cats and we want to let them out onto the porch.
Yeah.
They can't get out.
It's a patio.
So it's patio, yeah, not a porch. So I'm used to that now.
Okay.
Like, I wasn't at first because I could hear my mom like screaming, "Get the fly! Get the fly!" Like, could not let a fly in the house.
Right.
Like that
yeah.
just wasn't a thing. It was
Yeah,
like
yeah, your
unheard
family,
of.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The East Coast, or at least Maryland. Maryland is very obsessed with Maryland and like being Maryland and blue crabs and their flag and like they're just so all about their state.
Everyone has this sticker that's on their car.
Everybody.
That's a crab
It's like,
with the Maryland flag.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
patterned in it.
And I love that. Like I like how they have this appreciation for their own culture, but without being jerks. Should we talk about this shirt?
Oh.
No, we won't.
No.
They're not like we are. I don't get the vibe. I'm sure there's people like this. I don't get the vibe that it's a competition. I just get a vibe that like we appreciate our culture, and I like that.
Maryland is a small state. Western Maryland and sorry, Eastern Shore, they're kind of their own things.
Okay,
But the
okay.
rest of the
At least
like
where I've been.
that shape, that like
It's like
that
a gun
weird shape.
kinda, right?
Western Maryland, it's almost like West Virginia. It's like the mountains.
Yeah.
And then the Eastern Shore is basically like this weird extension of Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
But in that kind of main area of Maryland, yeah, it is a small area that is very focused on their Yingling,
Mm-hmm.
their Ravens and their Baltimore Orioles and their
Crabs.
lacrosse and
Oh, yeah,
crabs and the flag and fishing and like the
Yeah.
water and stuff. So it is like a really intense area and a lot of people like right there.
I like it. I always appreciate that going out there. I'm always like, yay, I'm going to go to Maryland and have scrapple and yingling and crabs and all these things that we don't do back
Yeah.
home. So I kind of love it out there. If you guys ever decide to move the studio, I'm down.
Ready and the ready for sports look.
Yeah, I don't really notice. I feel like
didn't
that's
notice.
I don't think much of that because the East Coast is like more uptight. You know, their work culture is a little more uptight. You can't wear whatever you want in the office and stroll in whenever you feel like you're right. It's a little more lax out here work-wise. So I'm used to people dressing down. Like I'm used to going to nice restaurants and seeing women in yoga pants. Like that doesn't.
That's normal. You
That
don't
does
really
not
do
shock
that.
me.
You don't really do that on the East Coast
Right.
as much.
I'm trying to think of the last thing that I found surprising.
Oh, here, I want to know.
Or have
Brett's are pretty
found
good.
surprising.
Traffic. Traffic's interesting. People complain about traffic everywhere, but since post-COVID, the main industry here in the Bay Area is tech, and tech companies have been really lax compared to, or like really serious compared to other industries like finance and government is the main industry here in Maryland and out there in Maryland and DC. They've been really lax about like, let's have more work from home, right? So like, honestly, the Bay Area is crazy. Like, there's still traffic, but you can like kind of like get in your car and go somewhere like 8:30 in the morning on a Wednesday, and like it's different than it was like 4 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
it's
I don't know because I don't.
you
I
haven't,
don't do
but
it
I
anymore.
have, and it is different. Like, it's nice, and yeah, Brett's citing traffic, and yeah, traffic was weird. And
That was. Thank you.
driving
Here
was
we go. It's those goofy circle highways you guys have.
Oh, roundabouts?
Yeah, not roundabout. I know what a roundabout is. I'm talking about like the 90. Is it the 95?
Oh, the Beltway, the 695.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, those people. I got the sense that people don't respect the role of the lane. Like the leftmost lane is supposed to be the fast lane,
Yeah.
and the rightmost lane is supposed to be the merge lane, and then you fill in accordingly. And it's I was like, there's people going all speeds and all lanes, and I hate it. I hated navigating it. And your speed limits are so slow.
They're like a good 10, 15 miles an hour than we're used to.
I'm like, what is this person doing? They're going so slow. They're going like 55. Oh, that's a speed limit. Well, this is stupid. I'm just going to go past it.
It's like, this would be 75 in California. I know, it's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
That was crazy to me. And also crazy to me is like, in the Bay Area, there's like lots of exits off of the two highways we have, right? We have the 101 and the 280, basically, like going up and down the Bay Area. And there's lots of exits.
Yeah.
But on the East Coast, it's like you're driving, it's like, oh, another major highway. And then like, oh, another major highway that way. And there's like constantly like a major highway like all over the place. I forgot about that.
I missed exits like all the time. I was like, I think it's this one. There's like two right next to each other. And I was like, nope, I missed it.
Yeah. And there's like layers of how serious a highway is.
Yeah.
Which I guess we have out here, but it doesn't feel like there's as much. Like someone's like giving you directions or like you see directions and like, then get on State Route 101. And you're like, State Route? What are you talking about? It's like
the 101 is in California.
Sorry, not 101. State Route, whatever. That's a
I know, I'm
bad
kidding.
example. But like get on SR or something. Like
Yeah, and then you guys don't use the, like, I mean, but I knew that one. I thought when I met you, I remember you calling that out. And I was like, well, what do you call it? Like, I the Beltway or whatever. Yeah.
Hey, fan stuff?
Yeah, let's do it.
We have a Zach-sized fan stuff today because...
Wait, is that big or small?
It's smaller than a cat-sized fan stuff.
Okay.
Look, this one we want to just show real quick. We did want to put a little slideshow together showing some other things Meg did at Nova. This is a metallic process.
That's nice
yeah,
of you.
Just this one real quick here. This is what she did in her other class. This is the class you had with Liberty Fires?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, not the metallic one.
Yeah.
With Liberty Fires, it was the edge highlighting.
Not Your Mother's Edge highlighting.
It wasn't, but yeah.
This was from Megan's Not Your Mother's Metallic class. And the process here is really cool. This is what I'm going to be, not exactly these same colors, but this is what I want to do in the Necrons.
Yeah, he had us base, let me think. Let me go back and think. Okay, so we based the whole thing in a dark brown, like almost black brown. And that was to sort of set the darkest values and then tone it, right? Like, I guess starting from there. And then we applied I think it was a gold. And the way we mixed the way we shaded or added value to the metallic was actually mixing gold as the dark and silver as the light. And so we had these steps between like gold and silver, and it became like this cool platinum color in the middle. And then, so build up your highlights from there. Start from your, first we did a dry brush of the darkest, which was gold in this case, and then you continued working up the highlights as you blended your gold and your silver together. Then we did airbrushing the bottom half with purple. That was supposed to like help tone the shadows. Then the middle section was, I'm trying to remember. Maybe I think the middle section was purple, and the bottom we added like dark brown, right?
Okay.
A dark brown contrast or something. And then from the top and very far away, you're like holding, where's my hand? You're holding the model like out in front of you and spray from like way back here, a little bit of blue on the top to tone down, like make the highlights cooler.
Yeah.
And then work on like highlights from there. But it was multiple steps. It was quite a few steps, but it looks cool. Like it's this like really multi-dimensional metallic now because of all the colors we've added to it.
Yeah, I love it.
So
I'm very excited to do this.
Yeah.
With a more silver with the Necrons, I think, but yeah.
Yeah, and it's not that hard. It's a lot of steps, but they're not hard. It's mostly airbrush and dry brush.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Good work.
Thanks.
Here we go, Broken Chef, working a little terrain.
Oops.
Some cool orc terrain. I love the little banners, I guess they kind of are. And he had a lot of this. This was just one of them. I'm kind of curious to see this in play, Broken Chef, on a mat. Get a little moss around there.
Oh, can you make it bigger?
No.
No? Okay. It looks cool. I'm like, I want to see more.
Wait, maybe I can make... That's about it, though.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Super cool. I love seeing terrain. And this is good terrain. This is nice. I love I do love the orc, the little red orc flag things. This is Brett. Brett is not
Yay.
finished. This is not finished, obviously, but Brett is not in love with the traditional Vespid pose. I don't think any of us are. So he's working on making these Vespid
What are
a
you
little more
talking about?
dynamic. And look, I think I will say that the model starts to hold up when you do this. It's an old model, but they're like very much like standing still, holding their gun up against their chest.
They're pretty sturdy.
They're sturdy. There's a couple of them that are pointing their gun out, kind of. But it's a very metal, old mono pose model. So this is cool. These guys are like awesome.
Yeah.
I wish I had done this with mine.
How hard is that to change them when they're metal versus like plastic or resin?
Well, resin would be, I think, the worst.
Is that the hardest? Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you just snap.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Like you can't melt it with a hairdryer or something?
I
don't know
guess
how it
you
works.
can. Like, I mean, that is how you fix long spindly bits. Mm-hmm. But I'm not.
Wait, really?
In resin, yeah.
Oh, in resin. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
If
Like
they're
I
bent
have
or
some
something.
spindly bits that I need to fix, but they're not resin.
Yeah, I don't think it's super helpful and super doable in plastic either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing these
Very
painted,
cool.
Brett. These are cool. Yeah.
Oh.
Another terrain piece.
Yeah.
This piece,
Is
when
this
done,
the one that you guys painted?
Cat has
Similar,
painted
right?
this. Yeah. This thing. This is the Luminor Shrine from Lumineth. Like, when this thing is done well, which this one is, it's always a crowd pleaser. It's so cool. And
It's very pretty.
their approach here is even like darker than a lot of people do Lumineth, but it still works. We can't super see it from here, Meg, but the roof, they did a really like
Yeah.
nice kind of golden, like it looks very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super beautiful. Oh, just some, actually, what chapter is this, folks? Do you guys know? I don't know what chapter this is, but they look great. They're very well done, very clean, cool basing. This is Heresy. Dark
This is
Angels.
Heresy.
Sorry, Heresy Dark Angels.
Sorry.
30K Dark Angels, right? Am I right?
I don't know. Are you?
Yeah, maybe chat will help me. Yeah, these look great. Heresy, if these are Heresy 30K Dark Angels, I think that's what they are, red and black. It's interesting how Heresy Dark Angels are black, and if they're not, it's still interesting how Heresy Dark Angels are black.
Why is that interesting? I
I don't know, they're like dark green now. Like some of the Space Marine chapters have changed colors over the years. So it's kind of cool to go back and see like original colors.
Oh.
Yeah. And I think like one of the things that makes Dark Angels so iconic is their green color. So it's just interesting that in Heresy they're not green.
What happens if you paint these armies not their color that they're supposed to be in the book? Do people
Well-
throw a fit when you have to play them?
No, well, I think...
Or they're like, that's not your faction, I can tell.
Yeah, that's a great question, Meg. I would say that there's a lot of answers to that question. I would say it's sort of a cultural norm to not do that in 30K. In 30K, to paint them what they're supposed to look like. And honestly, I think that's why people get into 30K. Because I think it's sort of Games Workshop's take on a historical game.
Okay. Makes
And
sense.
I mean, I don't know. What would happen if you play like muskets and tomahawks and like I showed up with like synthwave like
I mean,
British?
I'm just talking about colors, though.
I know. I'm saying like I don't even know the answer to my own question. Like if I play like a Roman historical game and I
Throw a fit.
Yeah, I know, probably, right? Like if I like some grognard's gonna pick me up back of my shirt and throw me out
Oh my
the door if
gosh, that's Brett. Brett's the grognard.
if I show playing muskets and tomahawks is a real historical game. It's the only one I know. I don't know the names of any other historical war games. So I'm trying to imagine showing up with like a British army and like painted like my daughter's a cane or something.
Again, though. Oh, that. Sure.
That's
Okay, I get.
see
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying?
that's like. That's like real history.
Well, I think that's.
But
the
okay, I know.
narrative-
Now I'm being one of those pesky girlfriends.
Well, I think that's the narrative with Heresy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Is that it also is future history, science fiction,
Okay. No, I get it. I get it.
historical science future history.
That's what they're going for. That makes sense. All right, I won't troll it. Anyways,
Yeah.
Very cool. Very pretty.
Yeah. So
yay, messy models.
I can't remember
I
who
love
this
them.
was, but these are Beast and Nurgle.
Yeah.
And they did almost all of this with an airbrush, and these guys look really cool. I love me some Vivid Nurgle.
I can see chat behind here throwing a fit because I'm saying because of my history comments.
I don't.
It's funny. It's real history.
This is real history too. It's true.
All right. I rescind my comment.
Bolt action, yeah, siegers, yeah. Oh yeah, no, I know other historicals. I mean, Flames of War, I guess, is a historical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are so cool.
These are Beasts of Nurgle.
I love chaos models. They're so fun.
Yeah, they're cool. I love these Vivid. Do you like your Nurgles Vivid, Meg, or grungy?
I think I like Vivid in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like a good grungy model, like when someone does it really well.
Mm-hmm.
I like that too. I tend to not do it.
These things are annoying to play against in Sigmar.
Are they?
Yeah, they're just fat and slow and...
Sound like they're easy to kill. No? You can't move?
They're tough.
They're like a blue crab when it's molting?
Yeah, no. But
Not that slow.
not that defenseless.
Okay.
Super cool, Slaves of Darkness dude. One of those. This is there's one every week where it just really looks good. There's nothing else to say.
Looks good. Well, let me get up then and go look at it because I can't see it from here.
Yeah. Very excited. This faction in Sigmar. They've announced it's coming out in January. I think a lot of people are really excited for it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just like pretty straightforward. Well done. Cody Bernard. Cody, are you in chat?
There he is.
Wait,
No, never mind.
Dude?
I don't know.
Really, really cool.
Oh,
little
look at all the
Abaddon.
colors.
Yeah. This is great.
Who is this guy?
Abaddon.
Who's Abaddon?
The spoiler.
Or you mean Abaddon?
He's
That's how I pronounce
it's
it.
Abaddon when it's the paint. It's
Okay.
it's Abaddon when it's. That's not true. It's supposed to always be Abaddon, but.
Okay.
Abaddon, the spoiler, just big jerk in the Imperium
steal some
in
white.
the 40K universe. Just a jerk.
no, this is ink.
Super meta right
Yeah.
now for Chaos. Yeah, he's a cool dude.
I like that sword.
Yeah. I like the glow around his head.
Me too.
He so famous like in art, he
neat.
has this like very pale head surrounded by like the glow like they have. They always kind of depict him that way, and they did it also like it's like fiery, and then it's like this like pallid flesh head in there.
Just gonna grab a white.
Another Beast of Nurgle by Soups. Soups, you famously post a lot of pictures of your models, and it looks good from every angle. But I have to say, this one time I was like, you know what? The back of this same model again, Fiend of Nurgle, or not Fiend, but Beast of Nurgle, was actually like my favorite, like close up of it. So that's what I went with. I like the boils.
Yeah.
It's like a clean Nurgle. It's not as vivid, but I still love it. He's got a bunch of pics of this, guys, in the Discord under Hobby Progress. So check it out.
Take a look.
Yeah, Soups. I'm kind of curious. Like every time you post, you're posting like different armies and different things all the time. I'm sort of wondering, for lack of a better question, what are you doing? Like, and
What
I mean
are
that,
you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? I mean that in a good way. You know, you have the Cherry Blossom Craft World. You have the Blood Angels. I think those are two armies you have that you're like working on. Then you sent. Oh, I didn't actually get to thank you for the cipher. Super awesome. Right, and you're a fiend. You're a little Slanesh guy. Yeah.
I did in Discord, but not. I don't think I did it out loud.
Yeah.
Holy moly!
Yeah.
I told Zach, all right, my army is now officially aligned with Chaos, so that I can always include it in my lists because it's so beautiful and like crazy colorful and Lisa Frankie and weird. It has like fishnet stockings. It's so good. It's so me. He really nailed it. So yeah, you're gonna have to find a way in your head to make it make sense that my my soul blight are friends with one guy.
Yeah. Now we will. I will be on the stream playing 40K in the next couple weeks, but not the Alpha Legion. But when I am back on to play the Alpha Legion, super excited to play Cypher. I will absolutely be taking him the next time I am invited onto the 40K to play, onto the Warhammer
The
40K
40K?
to play
What?
my Alpha Legion. Really excited to take him. And that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's no more.
Awesome. Hey, should we check in, see where you're at?
We should check in. I'll put it on the glam cam. I
Let's put it on the
was
glam
just
cam.
starting to get the whites of the teeth. I want to say I'm about 75% done.
Okay.
I'm pretty close, but it's going to take me a couple more hours to finish, I'm realizing. Especially the inside will be a little rough, but.
This is.
So you'll see one side is pretty good, and the other side is still in, let's start it from this side, is still in its early stages. This is the side that's more done. I hope it shows better for you guys than it does for me. And I started working on that one tooth.
Oh, yeah.
So, oops. So I still have some work to do on this guy.
Yeah, this is exciting.
I like how it's coming out. It's coming out cooler than I thought it would. And I had
Sorry,
fun.
you mean like
I like it.
okay, I didn't know. I was asking if you thought
no.
cool, tones.
I'm enjoying figuring out where the light would fall. I think it's been kind of fun to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if you it seems like even if you get it wrong, you can't.
It's so easy to fix.
Or I was gonna say you almost can't get it wrong. If you do it in a way you maybe weren't quite aiming for, it still ends up looking kind of cool, in a different way. Yeah, this is cool.
You guys are being so kind. It's not done yet, but I appreciate the compliments.
Very excited. Very excited for this guy. Very excited for these.
Oh, sorry, Cedric.
For these endless spells to make it on the tabletop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meg, I think we did it, but we do have one thing left to do.
Yeah.
Which is we got each other a little anniversary gift. We each got each other a surprise anniversary gift. On our way here, we had to stop at the game store to get a few things.
The game store.
And Meg had said, let's get each other a little gift and swap them. So they're back here.
More so for the fans.
Yeah.
To
they're back here. We
open
sort of
things.
poorly wrapped them with what we had here at the studio.
We've been busy.
So
It's just the 13th anniversary. We're
it's
good.
13th anniversary. So here you go.
Fine. All right, here you go. That's for you.
Okay.
Should we open it at the same time?
Ooh. I feel like yours is the one you got me is a lot heavier.
That's okay.
Okay.
Who cares?
We'll open at the same time.
Okay.
I guess. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Here we go.
All right.
Oh, God. Ugh. Here, should we do a top down on the opening?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. All right. Oh, yay, dry brush.
Masterclass dry brushes
Wow.
from Army Painter.
Nice.
You have a lot of zombies to paint in the near future.
Yes, I do.
And some skeletons. And so I kind of had the idea that these might be useful.
Heck yeah, I'll use these all the time.
Oh, you got me these little board games.
Yes. Okay, so this one was recommended by Seth.
Okay.
He said, and also Kat loves this one.
Okay.
Very cute game. I was like, I want something cutesy, nerdy and cutesy to get Zach. So help me.
Okay.
So we're gonna play this very nerdy, cutesy Dragon Society card game at some point.
We love little games like this, you and I.
We do.
Herbaceous. We recently picked up Herbaceous.
We need 2-player games in our lives.
Yeah, and games that are good.
Yeah, I am excited, Ceresco, about these brushes. I like dry brushing. I like the way it looks. Now this one, I thought I would go a little Slaneshi and get us a BDSM dungeon game.
Is that what this is?
I mean, it is now.
Okay.
That's why I picked it.
This is not a BDSM dungeon game.
Maybe we can just be wearing BDSM stuff while we play.
Well, look,
So,
anyway,
tie into
this company here, Cosmos, makes very cool games. They make the one we like, Lost Cities.
That's right.
Yeah,
like
among a
Lost
few others. So well, it's a good game company. Yeah. Awesome! I'm excited to play both of these.
Heck yeah.
Meg, I think we did it.
I think we did it.
Anything else?
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Really exciting. We owe Meg a big thank you, to be honest with you, because she is doing a significant amount of painting for Age of Sigmar. And
You guys think that Soulblight Army is for me? You're dead wrong.
Yeah, we'll be seeing a lot of her work in the near future on the channel. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
I mean that
It's fun.
sincerely. Folks, thank you so much, as always. As we like to say, be kind to yourself, be kind to each other, and always be creating. See you guys.
Bye.